Welcome to another day with Zenler. So this is session 1. We run from 9 till 12. So we're running for 3 hours. And this is a special one because this is the last one of 2021. We'll be back in 2022 in the end of January. So this is the last day with Zenler for this year. So pretty exciting. We've got a lot of stuff coming up today. So in this first session, we're going to have Liz Clifton, and she's going to be talking about moving from procrastination and actually getting motivated and succeeding at creating your site and courses. So she's a little bit of an expert in this area. So she's going to be talking about that. In the meantime, she's going to be starting at about 11:30. She's running for about half an hour for this initial one. She might come on again and do a longer one. So before that, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the education area, where you get educational help inside Zenler, especially if you're new to the platform, you don't know what any of that stuff is. We're going to be talking about the features of the Pro and the Premium members, and we're going to have a quick look at the page builder. The page builder is something we use quite a lot inside the site. We use it for funnels. We use it for actually creating our site pages and course pages, live pages. It's used a lot. So being familiar with it is the key to your success inside Zenler. So after that, we're going to be looking at a quick course roadmap. So that's kind of like what you should do to get started. Of course, it's not covering everything. It's just a general guide to kind of help you on your journey. Then we're going to be having a look at how membership work. It's going to be like a slideshow. Going to do a course creation slideshow, a live class slideshow, and of course we've got Q&As throughout. So if you guys want to post any questions, then make sure that you do it in the chat. Put your where you're from and you know what the time is in your country, because we're running this at 9 a.m. GMT time, and it's a big one because in the second session we're going to start a little bit earlier. Normally we run it from 3 o'clock, but we're running it from 2 p.m. For the second session, and we have 3 very special guests, 4 if you could include Liz. We've got 2 o'clock. We've got Amit Arora. You probably all know him. He helps so much on the group. It's unbelievable. So we're going to have him go. He's going to show us how to give your students a white glove experience, which basically means a VIP experience. And he's got some slideshows to show you and things like that. And of course, Amit is one of our power partner sellers on our platform, Zenler. So next we've got 3 o'clock. We've got Judy Raffett. Now she can't make it, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. Maybe one of the team members will turn up. Maybe I'll do a little bit. I'm not sure. So Judy was going to talk about, you know, how to speak, especially your videos and lives and things. So she can't make it this week. So she's going to be in the next thing. She's actually ill at the moment. So she was very apologetic and she can't make it. So at 4 o'clock, we've got Carol Robbins on, and this is going to be a really interesting one because she is going to show how we can maintain our biological requirements for movement as we spend long hours at the computer screen. So this is really important that you're comfortable, especially if you're doing these long lives, like like we do for a day with Zenler. Some of our Sunday lives, you'll see that they're quite long, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you're starting to, you can hit barriers. You go through a little bit of a lull. You try to keep it high impact and exciting and stuff, but you do naturally go through these little lulls in the way that you speak. So she's going to be talking about that. So we've got Carol on there. She's super excited to be on a day with Zenler. So all fabulous stuff. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to jump into the educational side and work our way through the first part schedule. As always, put questions inside the chat and we will get to them because I've got you guys open on another screen. So let me just dock this over here whilst I share my screen. I'm going to talk about the educational area inside Zenler. So, okay, let's have a look. All right, guys, so here we go. So tutorials.newzenler.com is where you need to go for all your training resources. Okay, so this is our central hub of where we have all our stuff. Now, if you haven't been on this site before, you're going to see this screen come up. So I'm in incognito. So the first thing you must do is, while I just have a look through it, but you need to go down to the NZ Masterclass bundle and you need to enroll in our master course. There's lots of courses inside here and we have 4 zones currently. Okay. The most important zone for you beginners or intermediates or people that are procrastinated with the platform have got our lifetime deal and you are just haven't moved on, just haven't created anything. You need to go into the Learn Zenler section. So enroll in this and, have a look around. But when you've enrolled, you're going to go to, you're going to have this screen come up. So it says, welcome back, a little bit different. The layout's a little bit different as well. So inside here, you're going to find lots of things. So I'm going to cover this in a section. I'm just going to go through top to bottom through our tutorial site. So the first thing is a new thing that we've added here. It's the latest new feature releases. This does not include them all. This just includes the last 3 recent ones that are on the platform. So this is a place that you can go in and you can just check these. These are directly pulled from our YouTube channel. And like everything we do inside Zenler, it's done from Zenler. All right. We don't use other tools. Okay. So everything you're seeing here has been created inside of Zenler, and you can sort of see how it works because it's quite different, this one. Next we have down here, this is a new edition here. So Kevin has started putting up some posts for the 2022. So these are live challenges that are coming along for 2022. So these are really good. You need to get in here because Kevin keeps the groups fairly small. So you need to get in, you need to book, otherwise you might not get a place. And he will take you through things in a very clear, methodical way and not overburden you. If you have attended any of my Sunday lives, I tend to give you a lot to do because we're covering, there's just so much that you're covering. But Kevin's challenges, he breaks it down to exactly what you need to do. And it's really nice. It's a really, really lovely course. You get some really good feedback. You meet some, you make friends inside those courses that Kevin runs because they're very close knit and he runs them quite close and he handholds you kind of all the way. So he's got the Launch Your First Course Challenge. He's run this before on a few occasions. And he also has the 5-day blogging challenge. So this will be the second time he's run this. Now, this was hugely popular and you need to get in there. I'm sure he's revised it a bit. He's also got an evergreen version of both of these. So there is actually an evergreen version inside the Zenler boot camps, but attending live is always a good thing because you can ask questions. You will have questions and he can answer them. He is our blogging expert. So you really want to grill him, as I did when the first time this ran. I was in there as a student and asking lots of questions from Kevin. So latest live events, we have all our latest live events going on. So office hours, we run every Wednesday. We run that 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. to cover all the time zones. That's GMT time as we are UK based. And we do a live class workshops every Sunday. But they'll be finishing this Sunday for Christmas and New Year. So you can join up there. It's actually a course. So you can go into a course and you can steal the replays if you've missed any. And then we've got join us for live events. So these are live builds. I've ran a couple of live builds this week, actually on Monday and Tuesday. It's been a very busy week for me. And of course, we've got a day with Zenler, which usually runs the last Friday of every month. Okay, we've run it a bit earlier today because next week, obviously, it's the Christmas week and stuff. So we've run it a bit earlier. Now, down here, we also have the feature list and the comparison matrix as well. So if you're using the free version, you can check out the paid plan comparison sheet here, and you can see the difference, and you can see the competitors' comparison. So we match up against Kajabi, Thinkific, Teachable, and Podia. Have a look at those and see those, because that's quite an interesting look at, and we'll be looking at that in a minute, because I'll be talking about the pro features in here. So back up now to the most important area if you want your online training available to you all the time. You can jump into the Learn Zenler. Now, like I said, you make sure you're signed up for this course on tutorials.newzenler.com and go into this zone. If you're new to it, now what this will do, guys, is it will help you with all of those basic things, all those things you need to set up on your site. We also have lots of questions in the Facebook group, and just by seeing the question, I know those people have not done any of the workshops inside of here, because they wouldn't ask the questions. So you want to go into Learn Zenler, and then you want to go into this course here, the Quick Start Guide. And that's exactly what it is. It's a quick start guide. Should take you no more than 2 to 4 hours, depending on you know, how quick you are with this sort of stuff. Very basic stuff, very easy to follow. And it will set up all of those things that you only really need to do once, and it will tell you why and all these things. So definitely do this and work your way through it. Okay. Now, at the same time, you can download the basic setup checklist. What is this? It is simply a PDF. It's a PDF with little boxes, and then you can print that out. And when you do each of the things with the quick start guide, you can click them off. You can just tick them off, and that will do all of the main things. We are adding to the basic setup checklist, and that will be there will be lots of new sections added early part of next year. Okay, so I started work on adding new sections to that, so there'll be more things to check off. So after you finish that, you'll have a foundation. You know, you'll have a foundation to build on, and every house needs a foundation. So you need to take the quick start guide. Okay, you need to. It's our prerequisite. So you have to do that, please. And then after that, you'll be in a position to go into something like the complete guide to Zenler, which is absolutely huge. If you guys come into this section and you go straight to the complete guide to Zenler, you're going to be scratching your head and going, I can't work. I haven't got enough time to watch all this stuff. So you need to go into that quick start guide, because in the complete guide to Zenler, we give you a breakdown on lots of different scenarios that you might want to do, like create different types of membership sites, different types of pricing plan. We go into tons and tons of detail, all based on what you've asked us, and we follow the platform right the way round down, like sort of dissecting it. It's like an anatomy of Zenler, you know, breaking down every bone, every muscle, every ligament. You know, we actually break it all down inside this course. It's a growing course as well, so more content does go into here to make it really easy, because we realize it's a massive course, and from your feedback, we've produced a few things in here to make life a bit simpler for you. The first one is up the top here. We have a search our complete database of videos. Now, what this does is this contains all of the videos, not just the videos in the complete guide to Zenler, but literally all of the videos, even our ones on YouTube. So when you do search this, it's normally, you would normally search it because you already know the subject, you just want clarification on something, because the order of the videos is not in order. It might be part of a series of videos. So be very careful with that, but it works very effectively for people that are quite familiar with the platform. Like if you were to type in here, forms, for instance, and then I was to hit enter, you're going to have all of the videos that we've done with forms. And of course, if you click here, it will go to that timestamp in the video itself. So it gives you a little bit of information by these transcripts written down here, but you can see how many times forms has been mentioned in our videos, and it's been mentioned quite a few. So you can see that that's all information, designing pop-ups, form for leads, lots of information inside there. So, and you can quickly access that information. You have a little language search as well. So if it's not your native language, you can change the language there. This is using Google Translate. As I mentioned, this is all done in the Zenler platform. So if we move down to where the actual course is, you're going to see the course is down here. Now, like I said, each of these is a section, so it tells you what it is. you know, site setup and page builder on Zenler. That's what this is all about. This is what these videos are about. So as you go down, you'll see course creation part 1. So that tells you about the courses, you know, what you can do, how you can adding a quiz, adding a survey, adding downloads. Then you come down here to testing. So testing as a student, which is absolutely essential. You need to test as a student. You don't just launch a course and then just expect it all to work. You need to go in and test it as a student. So difference between free, pro and premium plan. We're going to talk about that. And then we have the course creation part 2. This is ordered in the way that you'd create your site first, create your courses, create your membership, do your marketing. It's ordered in that way. And each of these sections is structured to take you right from the beginning, right to the end. Okay. So it's all in here as different modules. But if you were looking for something and you want some information quickly, you can use what we've put in here, which is the quick find highlighter. So if I click in here, you're going to get a little pop-up turn up, and if I put inside here quiz, for instance, and I click OK, then you're going to see the screen will go a little bit funny. And then now if I scroll down, any word that's in there that you just picked out will be highlighted in red, meaning you can find it really quickly. So this is another way to make it easier for you guys to find out where information is. Here we go. So we've got quizzes, surveys. You can see it's all there. Makes it very easy for you to find. So as I mentioned, it's a very big course, and we have for advanced users, this is another search. It's actually the same as this at the curriculum. It just includes all of the description in here, which is also searchable. Okay, so we've given you 2 ways of searching. Oh, well, 3 ways if you include our search functionality at the top. So this is the complete guide to Zenler. This is huge. Only do it after you finish the quick start guide. All right, really important. Now you'll find in all of the courses, you can easily get back to where you started because we have this block enabled in all of the course pages. So if you need to go back to this section, you can click here and it will take you back like that. And you can see the blocks here. So we're going to move on now. Once you've created your site and you've created your course, you're obviously going to want to market that. And marketing is probably the last thing you do, unless you're setting up a holding page and just want to market that page and then work on your site or your courses. Then it could be different, but generally it's the last thing in the step. So inside of this is fairly new. We released it this year, and we ran a bunch of students through this, about 34 of them, and they loved it. So this is quite good to do. So if you go into Zenler Marketing, inside Zenler Marketing, you're going to see that we have a Zenler Basic Marketing course. So this Zenler Basic Marketing course will take you through how to set up Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, how to run a Google ad, how to run a Facebook ad, how to properly SEO your pages, how to submit a sitemap to Google search, how to look for keywords in your particular niche and how many people are looking for those words. It covers a lot of different things, plus video as well, how to be better on camera, how your videos should be presented using tags, hashtags, all this stuff. We cover a ton inside this basic marketing course. And I've labeled it basic because I do cover it from a basics point of view, from a beginner's point of view. However, I would say it's more basic intermediate, this course, than an actual basic course, quite in depth. And if you do this course, you're probably doing more marketing or more SEO and marketing for your course than probably about 80% of the users on Zenler. Okay, I kid you not. Okay, so you need to get in there and do these basic things and get them part of your process of doing things. So in here also we have the 5-day blogging challenge. This is a great one. This is the evergreen version of the live one that's running in 2022, and this will take you through how you can create your blog posts, what you should be thinking about. It's quite good because it's full of surprises. So he tells you how to link everything up and these kind of things. I won't spoil it for you if you've not seen it, but definitely jump in there and see that. Next thing we've got in here is Zenler Extras. Now, these are courses that you guys have asked for. So you needed a bit more information. So we put these courses together based on what you've asked for and if we thought it would help you. So inside Zenler Extras, it's probably the busiest place in the site. We have a lot of different things. We have ethically copy a site, branding and design, hardware and software, all the live workshops we run, advanced ninja tricks and Zenler theme packs. Now, you can watch these if you want to, you don't have to. Zenler Platform has been designed for people that have got no design experience, at all. And obviously, if you have any design experience and stuff, your site's going to look better, but you don't need to have it. You don't need to know about coding. You don't need to know any of these things if you don't want to. But the power is there if you do want to know about it. A lot of you guys that are setting up that are not designers, you might get other people to design the site for you, using other people that are on the platform that are designing sites. So you might get them to do it for you. You might be buying templates from the site and putting them in there and using that as a base. So in which case you don't need any design experience. However, if you want to tackle stuff yourself, then you might want to jump in here and just watch these. And we put these together to help you guys. Like, all the training on our site is absolutely free. We don't charge anything for it, and we never have. So you're getting all this stuff, which is tens and thousands of pounds worth of course material, absolutely free. And I think we're probably the only platform that goes to the extent that we do, by covering even off-topic subjects such as marketing or branding and design, or even hardware setup, or even coding to an extent. Okay, so also inside here, it's worth pointing out, I'm just going to go over these. Effortlessly copy a site. This is if you've seen a site, someone else's site, or you've got your own WordPress site and you want to bring it across into WordPress, really easy. So I just show you some examples of sites that you can actually do that with. In there, create a Netflix style site. We also do an Amy Porterhouse site. And recently on a live build, I actually did a site from a WordPress and brought it across into Zenler. So this shows you how easy it is to actually bring it across. Zenler is probably the most versatile page building platform out there for LMS systems, because the LMS is at the core of Zenler. So definitely check that out. It's quite fun to play around anyway. Branding and design. If you want to know a little bit about branding and design, it's in there. And I've talked about branding and design on other Day with Zenlers. The main things here is keep it simple. Yeah. Pick your colors, your branding colors. Don't pick more than 2 font types, and keep it consistent. That's all. Those 3 things will make your site 100 times better than having stuff all over the place. So as long as you stick to those things, you're okay. So hardware, software is like this kind of setup. So my camera, my microphone, my green screen, all these sort of things. So it goes into detail there. Live workshops are all the live workshops we've done on numerous things like forms and funnels, all sorts of stuff. And Ninja Tricks is coding. We do not support this. We just tell you about it. So if you want to learn more about coding, you can if you want to, but you don't have to use the platform. And the next one I've got here, which is quite interesting, is Zenler theme packs. So we've decided to put together a few little packs for you to have a look at using your site. So the first videos here, there's 4 videos. These basically tell you how to install and customize any of the theme packs that are in below. And down here, we've put just some fun ones together for you to use as a base to install straight into your site. We've also got some call to action blocks and form blocks as well. And we've got other stuff that's going to be coming. And we've also got troubleshooting any of the blocks as well. And next we have custom certificates. So inside here, we have custom certificates. So it tells you how to install a certificate, and it also tells you how to edit and design your own as well. And down here, we've put a few extra custom certificates that you could use for your courses. And we have various links and download packs in here. So that is the Zenler extra areas. So that all the courses in there. So I'm going to jump now into the last one, which is Zenler Bootcamp. So Kevin runs bootcamps, and he's running a couple next year. There'll be more coming out as well. He runs quite a few throughout the year. So he'll put, if he turns them into evergreens, they will go into here. So this is launch your first course challenge 2021. Obviously he's bringing out 2022, so he'll drop that in there. Very worth going in here. If you've not created your first course yet, go in there. He gives you targets to hit. He doesn't make it too uncomfortable, but he makes it uncomfortable enough for you to move through it. Okay, so he wants you to get your actual first course up, and that's what the challenge is all about. Sometimes it's a good idea to have someone pressuring you to actually move forwards, and rather than stay and not actually do anything. So this is all of our training areas inside here. So it's all at tutorials.newzenler.com. So guys, if any of you are watching this, if you want to put hi or whatever in the chat, if you've got any questions, make sure that you drop it into the chat, because primarily the Day with Zenler is about for you guys and for you guys to ask us questions. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to move on to some of the resources up here. So as well as in the tutorials.newzenler.com site, as well as all those courses and things we looked at and all the information that we show in the page, we also have some really vital things at the top here. Now, if you need any support, we have a support button here, and this is like for a kind of technical, goes to our support docs. So you can look at our support docs. And then if you have a technical or a problem with the platform itself, then your first port of call should be support@zenler.com. Okay, send a support ticket to them. We need to know if anything's going wrong with the platform. If it's a general inquiry, like how do I do this or how do I do that, then that's when the Facebook group is really good and you can post your questions there. So understand the difference between the two. If you've got a technical problem and you put it into Facebook, it will never be looked at by the support team. You need to send it to support@zenler.com. It's really important. At the same time, mate, when you do send that support ticket, if you can do a Loom video of that, record it, or do screen grabs to give the team a little bit more information so they can visually see what's going on, because the team might not be able to replicate your problem. All right. So if you do a Zoom video, a Loom video, then they will see it and it becomes obvious for them to support your problem. So that is our support. Have your say. Now, guys, be really nice for you to go in. If you've attended any of the workshops, we'd love your feedback. If you join us on a day with Zenler, if you want to join us for a day with Zenler, like we've got 4 people today, well, we've got 3 people now, then you can fill out a form here. If you think you've got something to offer the community, come on there and just fill that form out. You know, tell us what you want to talk about, and then we'll get back to you and set a slot up for you on a day with Zenler. And that's how everybody today is coming on. They filled the form out. So next one, we've got educational support. So how are we doing? We like your feedback. You know, are we doing a good job? Are we supporting you enough? Are you happy? You know, are you not happy? We need to know these things. So if you can go in and have your say and fill out the educational support, then we'd love that. Okay, next thing we have here is resources. So resources, quite a lot going on in here, but it's all very easy. So if you've got a support bug or tech issue, you can click here. So you can just click here. If you want to have a look at the competitors comparison matrix, which is at the bottom of the page, you can also click here. You can check out the paid plan comparison. We also have the NZ changelog, so it tells you what the development team are doing and what they're up to. If I just quickly click that, you can see whenever they've put a new thing on here, it will be updated, so you can see what the team are working on. A lot of it will be gobbledygook to you because it's just, you know, it's technical. Some of it's technical jargon, but some of it is really important. It's normally put in bold, so you can see, like you can see there, we increase the upload size to 2 GB from 1 GB to 2 GB. I know a lot of you are asking for that, so we put that in there. That's in there, and you can see there's certain things. There are lots of fixes going, like reoccurring automation fixes. You know, these are where people have had problems and they found there's an issue, so they've put them right. So it's always a quite active page. There's lots going on in here. As you see, the team are working tirelessly on the platform to make it better and better for you. So that is our change log. We also have a Zenler status page, which is fairly new. It's not that old, a couple of months. And like most sites, they have a little operational showing that everything is working. If there's any problems, you can see we haven't got any incidents for a long time. Can't even see any. So inside here, if any of the systems go down, they will actually be shown in here. So it gives you a way, if there's a problem with your site or you see your video is not playing, check the status page, just see if there's an error in there. And if there's not, just drop a line to support@zenler.com to find out what's going on. Lots of the times, if videos are not playing and stuff, it's something to do maybe with your internet. So check your internet speed. It's really important as well. So that is our status page. We also have a PR media. This is for our partners. So if you want to access any of our PR media for like Zenler logos, these kind of things, you can go in there. We have an Ask Zenler. It's just questions you've asked. This goes a direct link to our Facebook events page, and also another direct link to our announcement page on our Facebook group. And Zenler new features request here is where you can put, if you want to request a new feature, you can drop them into there. That goes to our Facebook page as well. All right, so that is all the stuff we have. Yeah, so what we're going to look at now we've run through the educational slot part of A Day with Zenler, we're going to move on to the next part, which is going to be having a look at the paid plan comparison chart. So if you guys are on the free plan, I just want to explain what you get, what you don't get if you are on the pro and premium plan, just so you're kind of clear about the advantages of having the paid version of the platform. Okay, so you can see here, this is the free user and professional plan. Now we do open quite a lot of stuff for you to use for free, but we're not going to guarantee you that they will be open all the time. We could close them off, we could limit them, because we're not actually at launch yet, but when we do, we might limit this further, we're not sure. So at the moment, the best way to have everything is to go on the premium plan. So with the pro and premium plan, you do get access to everything. You can see these are checked. Unlike a lot of platforms, we don't limit it between the plan. You know, you just get a less of something, but you have access to everything, which is really important for you guys. And we realize that, and we're not greedy. So we kind of try and open it up, and we'll just limit the amount rather than give you no access to it. So I want to look at the first one, which is save and share custom blocks. So you're going to see that free plan, you cannot do that. Now, there is a workaround. You can grab code from the left-hand side, but you're not going to be able to save the block out. So blocks are blocks in the page, like this would be a block here, and you're able to save that block out. And then what happens then is you can open another page up, and then you can just drop that block back in. So you can create one page with lots of different blocks on, save them all out, go to various places in your site. You can just drop them, delete them out, drop them, copy them, you know, so you have that. It's a real time saver. For me personally, it's probably sped my work up by at least maybe 10%. So I'm about 10% quicker because I'm now saving with blocks than I was before, just much quicker. So we have the free plan, again, has all of this. You can duplicate, add SEO to all pages, but you don't have multiple sites. So with the free version, you have one site. Okay, with the pro feature, you have access to 3 sites. You can create 3 completely different sites, okay, all under the one admin. Now, our rule about this is you must be the owner of these. You can't resell these sites to try and recoup your money for your, I know what you're thinking, you recoup your money for your annual. No, it's all under your account. You must be the owner of them, okay? So it's really handy. It's like me, for instance, I have 2 sites set up, and one's a test site, and I'm starting to launch this second site, and it don't necessarily have to be on the same. So I've got like a surfing site. I've got 2 ZBrush sites ready to go. So it's really good. You don't have to pay. Every other platform, you're going to have to pay 3 times. Or if you're with the premium, you get 10 sites. So you'd have to pay 10 times the amount, which is crazy. Transaction fee with the free plan is 10% on each sale. With the pro and the premium, it's 0. Okay, so also we have blogs. So we have blogs built into pro and premium. So you can set blogs up under free plan. You can't. Just as a side note here, any new features that come out will not be added to the free plan. Okay, so that is something to bear with as well. And now probably one of the biggest things in here is lives. So lives are not in the free plan. You don't have the option of our integrated Zoom, and our integrated Zoom means that it's actually, you don't have to have a Zoom subscription to use Zoom on Zenler. Okay. So we have live classes, interactive webinars, live streams to Facebook and YouTube. and they're not available. And we're going to be having paid lives come out, and we're also going to be having the ability to put lives inside of a course. So that's going to come out soonish, and we have that in the Pro and the Premium. Okay, so marketing funnels, driving traffic through a funnel. You can do 100 of those with the free plan. You can do 1,000 with Pro, and unlimited for your Premium plan. Okay, so for email broadcasts, you have 1,000 free. So that's using Zenler's mail to send out. You can send out 1,000 mails. Okay, but with the Pro, you have 100,000. Premium, you have 500,000. Okay, a month. These are all a month. Email domain authentication. So what is email domain authentication? It basically, you're able to authenticate your own email. So you run it through your server, then the system knows that it's authenticated when you send stuff out through Zenler. Okay, so you get what is the effect of that? You get better deliverability results. Okay, more going into the inbox, less going into the promotions folder or the junk folder, because you're using email domain authentications. And just as a side note, I did an email best practices video on this on our YouTube channel. So on our YouTube channel, you can go there. Let me just jump into our YouTube channel just to show you that. Our YouTube channel has a lot of videos that are nowhere else. So definitely subscribe and hit the bell. And you'll see inside here, we have a lot of things going on. We put lots of our lives and things in here from our YouTube video. So you can find things really easily. A lot of people don't use this a lot. If you go to YouTube, you've got this little search. Once you're on our channel, which is youtube.com/c/Zenler, you can actually search all our videos that are on the platform itself. And this is really handy. So if I go email best, then I will get email deliverability, getting mail to your inbox. You also have the email domain authentication, because we always do a new feature release showing you how to use new features that are in the platform. So you can see you can use this to actually really find information quickly inside of our channel. So definitely do that. So I'm going to jump back to this, and yeah, so that's email domain authentication. So leads are people that you brought in maybe through a funnel or something. So with free plan, you got 5,000, 25,000 with Pro, and you got unlimited for Premium. Also, the free plan, we only let you use Stripe. So if you've got the Pro and Premium, you've got access to Stripe, PayPal, and Razorpay for the Indian marketplace. Okay, so that's quite a big one. Lots of you want to use PayPal. You need to be on the Pro or Premium plan to do that. Also, we have lots of integrations inside of Zenler, and you'll see that we have MailChimp, ConvertKit, MailerLite, ActiveCampaign, and Mooseend, which are not available for free users, but available for Pro and Premium. Next we have, and this is a big one, set assignments. So you can set assignments, and you can make those assignments compulsory. So within assignments, it gives the student can upload a video to you or a file to you. He can type a message back to you. You know, you can give them handouts. You can write what you want them to do. You can make that assignment compulsory, so they cannot move on through the course until you have approved it. And that will appear, the assignment, someone submits an assignment, you'll see that in your dashboard, and you can reject it, you can approve it, or you can get them to resubmit it. So you can have this way of grading the student on the assignment and building up the thing. And until you approve it, if you've got it set on compulsory, they can't move on through the course. Of course, with compulsory, you can turn it off and allow them to move on anyway, but you've got that way of slowing your students down as they're going through the course. And this is asked for a lot. How do I slow my students down so that they don't go through all of my course material? I want them to come through as a group. So you could use assignments to do that. You could also put the lessons into draft as well, which would stop the students seeing anything until you make it live. And we have also the other feature of setting drip as well. So you can set drip content to come out. So if you've got 3 sections, the first section you might come out straight away, and then the second section after a week from enrollment, and then the third one 2 weeks from enrollment. So you can drip the content out. So lots of ways of controlling the way the student comes through your courses. And remember also, you can set enrollment times as well. So you can set a pricing up so that people can enroll only in a certain time. All really good stuff. And sometimes requires a bit of thought. It's very easy to say, oh yeah, Zenler's a system, you can build a course, you can build your site, you can have blogs, but you need a plan. We all need a plan, so you need to be planning out what you want to do and what you want to achieve, and then you just need to make that work with the Zenler system to do that. So inside of course features, we also have add SCORM and HTML package. So if you don't know what SCORM package is or HTML packages, probably best to stay away from it. But you can upload these packages that give you more interaction, basically. The rest of the course features you're going to see down here, they're all available. So they're all available for free. So like we said, we do give you a lot of features on the free plan, but these massive features and any new features will only be in the Pro and Premium. It's kind of almost like the free version. Everything's stopped now. That's it. You've got that. And it's not going to carry on. So let's have a look at the administration side of things. So with the free plan, we can have 1 admin, 1 assistant, 1 support. With the Pro, we can have 10 of each. And with the Pro Premium, we can have 20 admins and 50 each of assistants and support. So I know that coming up at some point, there will be custom roles as well. That has been mentioned by Rakesh. But there's no ETA on any of this stuff that we say. So next we have reports. Of course, that comes out for everything. We also do a course migration from Teachable and Thinkific, and we'll even migrate for you free users. Yeah, so that's ticked in there as far as I'm aware. So we also have students. Again, you have unlimited students you can have, and we have student export, EU VAT handling, priority support. Will obviously go to the Pro and Premium members, but we kind of like support you all. You probably know us, how we support you. So we put it in there. Maybe when we launch, there'll be more of a priority for the Pro and Premium, but we realized that you free users are using the platform because you want to upgrade. You just want to try it all out. So we give you the ability to try it all out. We also talk a lot about our lives, and we show you how they work so you can actually see them for yourself. So before you make that decision, you can see how things like assignments work because we've done videos on it, and then you can make your own choice up whether you want to upgrade to the Pro and Premium. I do realize that the Pro and Premium plan are at this amazing, crazy price. So if you are thinking of going on the platform, now is the best time before we price hike. We'll give warning about it, but if you go to newzenler.com and go to the pricing tab, you'll see what we have the pricing as now, and that's only going to go up towards launch. Okay, so just think about that. We also have a yearly and a monthly plan as well, so you can jump between these, right? And by the way, guys, I just want to clarify this. If you do lock yourself into, say, this plan, and then later on, say in a year's time, you need to upgrade to Premium, you will be locked in at this price. You won't be paying the current price for the Premium. And once you subscribe to Pro or Premium at this price, both of them are locked in, which is amazing, right? We lock both of them in. So your choice. I'm not going to do the sales pitch here. It's just so you know, so you're aware of all of that. So that is the difference between the Pro and Premium features there. Again, there's no questions gone into the chat. So hopefully you're enjoying this. So what I want to do now is just want to have a look at the page builder. So Zenler at its core is this page builder that allows people love the page builder because it's really intuitive. Okay. And I'm just going to jump in there. I'm just going to have a little play around in the page builder. So let me just load my site up and just, I might pick out some of those points that I picked up on the, how you can copy blocks and things in there. So let me jump back into this. All right. So I'm in a demo site now. This is the actual site, okay, here. And you can see this is actually part of my Sunday mentorship. I'm showing people how to build sites like this, how to do holding pages and all these sort of things. And this was all built with the page builder. So inside of the pages here, you can see this is another page that was built with the page builder. This was for a live that you can see on our YouTube channel down at the bottom. It's under Angela Luna. And we created this site for her, which was actually a WordPress site. We converted it across. So again, this was all done using the page builder inside there relatively quickly and very intuitively. And that is the key word here. The page builder is intuitive. Not much to learn, just a lot to see. Okay, so it's very obvious. There's a lot in there, but it's very obvious what everything is. So when you're looking at some of the settings inside the page builder, it's very clear what they do. And visually on screen, you can see what happens if you change them. And this is key because, you know, you can play around. And what I always advise people when I'm teaching them how to create sites and these sort of things is have a look at some sites on the internet that you like the look of, and then just play around, just try to duplicate something similar to it in using something like Zenler. I say exactly the same thing if they were using WordPress, Squarespace, or whatever, Wix or whatever. But Zenler makes it very easy because the page builder is really easy to work with. Couldn't be easier. So to make a new page for playing around, and I suggest you do this because it's good fun, go add a page. Do not publish it down here. That way it won't be picked up by anybody and no one will see it apart from you. Then just create a name for it. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to call it template. And then I'm going to put template in here as well. Okay, and I'm going to choose blank template. And we can leave visible for all users, but it doesn't matter because it's unpublished, so no one's going to see it. So if I click add now, it's going to go now into the page builder where we can play around. And I'm going to just talk you through what the page builder is. It's basically the main blocks of the page builder. And it's probably about 4 things you need to know to understand how the page builder works. And the rest of it is just having a look, you know, just looking and playing around. So the first thing you need to know when you set up a default page is you will have this dynamic header. You don't have to have it. What a dynamic header does is it brings information. So wherever I've got this same dynamic header, okay, if I change one, it will change it on all the pages. Now you also have dynamic content. So this is pulling in from other places. Dynamic content might be if you created 5 courses and you've got a dynamic course block in the page. What it will do is if you created a new course, it would pull it all into the block. You don't have to do anything. So it makes it very easy. So we always say at Zenler, stick with our little dynamic header, stick with our little dynamic footer at the bottom. And that way in every page, that if you change it in one, it will change in all the others. If you manually create a header and a footer, that's the top and the bottom of the page, you'll have to make sure if you change one of them, you'll have to go into every single page and update it. Okay. So we say it's best to stick with the dynamic header. That's all you need to know. Yeah. Without getting too complicated. So building the pages themselves, and this is the fun bit, you're going to see that we've automatically included a little block here. And if you click that block, you're going to see it's blue in there. Yeah. So this is a containing block. It's like a box. Okay. And inside that box, you're going to put like wrapping, and then you're going to put your object inside it. So the wrapping inside the box would be the row. So you start with a block, and then you add a row. So if I add a row, click row, you're going to get different rows. So you've got row, 1 column, row, 2 columns, 1/3, and these are all changeable. So I'm going to click in here. I'm going to click 1 row. What you're going to see now is that's gone green. So rows are green. So blocks are blue, rows are green. And inside a row is normally an element. Okay, so you can do a lot with these rows. Like, for instance, I can right-hand click and I can go and add a new column. Now I've created 2 columns, 1 row. I can also right-hand click and I can clone this row, or I can clone this column. I can move this to the left. I can also delete a column and I can delete a row. Let's just confirm that. It's gone back to 1 row. So inside a green row, we always have a red element. So elements are here. So if we come in down here and go to something like text, let's click that. And now you're going to see we have a red element. So we've got a blue block, a green row, and then inside that, a red element. That's all there is to it. So to modify any of these blocks, there's a little gear icon up here. Now I'm going to run through. So here we can save the block. Here we can clone it and whatever's in it, and we can delete it. So if I was to clone this block, let's just do it. And bang, we get the same. So it'll come up down the bottom once it's finished loading. There we go. So you can see I've cloned this block. So it's going to be real time saver. I could also save it here. And I'll just show you some blocks I've saved earlier. If I go to blocks and I go down the bottom to custom blocks and I open this up, you're going to see there's some blocks in there. So I've saved these so I can reuse them. So if I want to reuse this block here, which took a while to create, I can go in and I can drag it straight into the system and let go, and bang, it's there. So imagine how quick it is to work. You might have to change a little bit, like the background color on it. I'll turn that branding off. So I could change that color to something like this, you know, really easily. So saving blocks to reuse them in different pages can save you a lot of time, because you might have spent a lot of time setting up these. You can see here I've got 3 columns, 1 row. You know, I've got another row up here, then I've got a block, because yes, you can put rows on top of each other, and you can also change the background, but saving the block can actually save you a lot of time. So you can also go in here and you can clone the rows. So if I want to clone another row inside this block, I could just click here and then you'll see another row. So I've got another column. So I've got another row there underneath the top row. And I can also delete them out by clicking the delete. You'll always get a confirmation, which is we just like to make sure that you're confirming that you want this deleted. So that will disappear now. I'm actually going to delete out this block here, duplicate block, and click that. And there we go. So let's now have a look at the settings. And this is the bit I was talking about. This is one of the main things you need to know about. Inside all of the blocks, blue blocks, inside all of the green column rows, you're going to have this little gear icon, and that is the settings icon. You've got it in here, you've got it everywhere. And that means that there's settings that you can apply to this block. Okay, so if I click in this little gear icon, on the right hand side, you're going to get a little pop out, and we've made it so clear. I mean, you've got things like alignment, so you know the content is aligned center, the background color, okay, background image, background position, overlay. So let's just go and do something. I'll just change this background color. Let's just change it to an orange. Click here. Okay, you can change these really easily. You know, you can go down here, choose a different color, and you'll see it update on the page as well. We make it so that you can actually visually see it in the page, okay, as we move things around. So you can see I can add a background color. I can also add a background color to things like rows as well, and anywhere there's settings. Let's go and drop in a background image now. So I'm going to just hit here, and I'm going to just choose one of these background image. I'm going to choose my little dog there. So you can see my little dog is in there. And you can also see when I go with my mouse that this is changing. It's like 100 pops up. If I click with my mouse, my left mouse button, I hold the left mouse button and I drag, you're going to see that I can reveal more of the image by bringing that padding out a little bit more. Do you see that? I can also do it from the top as well. So I can bring it down like that. Now, of course, you can't see that text. So maybe I want to put an overlay over this image. So we haven't looked at overlays. So if you've got an image, you might want to put a tinted overlay color. You can do that. You can just click the gear icon, come down here to background overlay, turn that on. I'm going to choose a white. There we go. And I can change that opacity. Do you see how I can change that opacity to make that text clearer? You know, and I can change this as well. I can put this into any color I wanted to in here. Just again by selecting it. I could even put it into a black. And now I can't see my text, but of course I could go into this element, choose the gear icon and change the text color to white. And bang, you can see it. So you can have a lot of fun with the page builder. It's definitely something that you should have a little play around. And remember that we can preview this page. So as we are logged in, remember this page is unpublished there. So people can't see it outside of this. If I click preview now, it's going to open up a new tab. I need to save it first. Let's just save it. It's going to bring some SEO settings up, which you need to fill out if it's a proper page. So let's click save. And now you're going to see that I am previewing this page. So this is what we just created. If I made a change to this page, like decided to go in here, maybe change the background color of this to, I don't know, a red, and then I saved it there, then all I need to do is jump back to that preview page once it's saved, hold the control key, hit the refresh, and this will turn red inside here. So you can quickly see these changes. Now, no one can see this page because if I take the URL of this page and we go into what's called incognito mode, we always use Chrome. We go into new incognito window, paste that in, and you're going to say, oops, page cannot be found. Why? Because we are not logged in. We're previewing this because we have access as an admin, because we are logged into the platform. Yeah. And we can then preview this. That's why we've got that little says preview at the end, and we can see it, but nobody else can. So you can work on these pages and realize that nobody else is seeing these pages, which is, you know, obviously what you want to do. You don't want to work on a page with it being live and people looking at it. So that is the page builder for you. So what we're going to look at now is we're going to look at the roadmap. So still no questions in the chat, guys. So this is more, I know it's quite early. It doesn't start coming alive till about 10 or 11 morning shift, but the Australians should be up viewing this now. So where are you guys? So what I want to do now is I want to talk about the course roadmap. So this is sort of best practices on what you should be doing for launch. So 2 secs while I open up the slide. I've got this as a all right. All right, so we brought out this course roadmap quite a while ago, and people really liked it. So I thought, I haven't done it for a while, so I'll just kind of run through it because it's quite a nice one to sort of demo. So I'm just going to turn my video off while I do this so you can see, so my head's not in the way, so I can just talk through it. And I got some questions coming. Good to see you, Adrian. Good to see you, Gabrielle. So, yeah, we have got some Australians in, brilliant, from Australia. So any tips for replicating pages from one site to another? Yeah, you can't, you're talking new Zenler sites, yeah? From one Zenler site to another, yeah? You're not talking about WordPress site or anything to a Zenler site, are you? Because we don't do that. Just yes, so you are. All right, let me just finish this. I'm going to jump. Actually, do you know what? I'll do it now. Questions are the most important. Remember that, because we are a day with Zenler. So it is all about you guys. So I will just hold off doing this and I will just go and tell you what you need to do. So let me just share. This is the fun of being live. All right, so what you need to do, Gabriel, is if you want to copy a block, you can't save a block and then it won't be on the new site that you've created. What you can do is you can do this. So you could go into the page. Let's just say, I'm going to edit this page again. Yeah. Say you've created your block and you want to share it to another site. Okay. You can't use the save here because it won't save. It won't show up in the other site. So you've got no way to get that across there. So what you can do, and this is what a lot of people do that sell those templates, and you'll even see it on our training where we've got our themes, tells you how to install it. What you can do is you can come over here to that particular block. Now we're just talking about this blue block here. We're going to share that. If you come over to this little tab and you go into here and you click that little line, you'll see that it'll bring some code up here. And what you can do is you can copy this. So if you press Control, hold the Control key, press A, press the Control and copy it, Control C. Okay, so I've copied that. Now what I'm able to do is, let's pretend we're in a new site. Okay, so I've just deleted that out. Pretend we're in a new site. All I would do to add that code in there, remember I've copied it, so the code is copied. I would go add a new block, go down, add a new empty block. Okay, open up, let's wait for it to open up this on the side. I would select what's in there, Control A. I would put the backspace to delete it out. And I press Control V to copy that code back in there. And then I would click save. And now you're going to see that that is back again. So that's how you could do it, Gabriel. You could go in there and you could copy that. So if I wanted to copy this code, I could open that up. Okay, hold the Control key, click A, hold the Control key, click C, then cancel this. And now I would create that empty block and I would paste it in there. So I would go down to there. So I'm just using the empty block as a container to be able to put that code in. So once I've done that, I would then go over there, click the little icon when it pops out. And you're basically replacing this block's code with your own. So Control A to select it all, Control V to paste it in there, click save, and bang, it will appear there. So that's how you could copy it from one site to the other. So good tip here, have two tabs open, one with the site, your new site, have one with the old site where you're copying the code, go in there, grab it, bring it across, paste it in, copy and repeat. Just do that all the time. And that will be the way to do it, Gabriel. So glad that's helped. Lovely, good. Pauline, you have a question about communities. What's your problem? I'll wait for you to come in on that one. I might jump back to it because I want to just go through. We got an hour and a half just before we have. So I'll come back to you, Pauline, if you want to just put what you want to do. I'm going to move on to the course roadmap now. So course roadmap. Right, let me just go full screen mode. Brilliant. All right, let's share the screen. So yeah, we ran this a while ago. This is the roadmap to launch a course. So this is like what we consider this to be quite a nice linear way that you should follow to launch your site. So I haven't done this for a while, so I'm going to be kind of reading a lot off here. I should know it, but I haven't looked at this for a while. So I'm going to click the first slide and we're going to go through it. So welcome to the Launch Your Site Roadmap. Purpose of roadmap is to guide you through the process of creating and launching your course site, membership site. So this should be helpful for newbie instructors to follow. So every course creator works differently, but this generic formula will kind of guide you. So let's go for it. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to do your research. So do your research, check your niche is popular. Okay, so you can do that via things like Google Search Console. You can check traffic. You could go into Google itself and just type your niche subject in Google search engine and find out how popular. Go on Facebook, find out how many groups on Facebook are doing your particular subject. So you find out how big and if it's worth going into. It might be a saturated market, in which case you might find there's something off of it. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Like for me in particular, lots of people are doing digital sculpting, especially for 3D printing. It's a saturated market. It's not all good, but it's saturated. So I found that off of that, like actually not just showing them how to 3D print, but actually showing them how to create the models and also take that model through the print stage and also then to paint it, then gives me a very unique UPS, doesn't it? You know, unique selling point. It gives me like, I'm showing this and I'm showing this. Another side thing of that is jewelry design, which is a huge market off of that is not saturated. Okay, so finding your niche is really a most important thing. So you can use Google, see your competitors, you use Facebook, use Google keywords, check popularity. So research is key before you kind of get too vested into something that might be saturated. So the identity, so branding is everything. So make sure your brand has an impact. Okay. So we've got branding courses in our tutorial sites. You can look at that. So select the colors, typefaces, and style you want for your brand. Use tools like Canva. You can also get someone to do it for you. So there's like 99 Designs, Fiverr, or Upwork, and they've all got people on there that do that. And I know on our Facebook group, I'm not going to count out our Facebook group because we've got some amazingly talented people on there that are doing work for other people. That we don't recommend anyone, but there's a lot of really good ones because the feedback's come back from that. So research other people's sites. So this is a really good one, and I think this is key in a way. See what other people are doing. Look at their sites for inspiration. You don't have to copy it, but you can follow a kind of design style if you like the look of it. So it's definitely worth researching other people's site. It also gives you a point. You don't want to copy exactly what they're doing, but you want to take the best bits of other people's sites and then put it into your own. That way you're always ahead of them in a way, especially if you're lacking, if you've never done this before and you don't know what to do. Because a lot of people are like, well, I'm really good at teaching this, but I don't know what to do. It's funny, I was surfing the other day and I was talking to this girl, and she does yoga on the beach, on our local beach. But she's not used to any of this stuff at all. And she's kind of like, well, where do I start? She was like, I want to do courses online. I want to do lives. And I was going, well, what about using platform that I do the education for, which is Zenler? She's like, what's that? And I said, well, have you heard of Kajabi, Teachable, Thinkific, any of those? And she's like, no, didn't know anything about it. I think they were going to go the route of using WordPress. So now she knows that. I was like, don't use the others, use Zenler. And she's now on that track to doing it. So she'll look at other sites and get inspiration for them from there. So get feedback from the Zenler community as well. So it's worth doing a design or put something together and then just putting a link on the Facebook group and just saying, what do you think? How can I make it better? There's a lot of branding experts, and we've had a few on, but Ian Hamilton springs to mind because he does branding. So he usually, if you put something on there like what do you think of my site, and then tag Ian in, he'll give you some feedback. He's really, really helpful on there, as well as lots of others. So identity is key. So we got site course planning. So draw out a simple site map. Do not overcomplicate it. This is the biggest hurdle for people. They overcomplicate their site map or their site. They have these it's really nice to have grand ideas on what you want to do, but if you don't know how to achieve them, because especially if you're a beginner, and even someone that's been doing courses for years comes up with a brand new plan, and but they don't know how to implement it, it can end in disaster, and it can really slow you down. What I say is start with something really simple and then start to make it more complex later. It's the quickest way to get you earning money, and that's what it's about. Especially because I know a lot of you are probably like, you may have another job and you want to make this your full-time or make a substantial amount of money so that you can give up actually trudging into the office and those things. I mean, the flexibility of doing online courses means that you can literally travel anywhere in the world and work on your courses. It also means that if you're selling your courses, you don't actually have to be sitting there by the computer. They'll just make money for you. So these are massive draws to why people want to work online, especially now with all this crazy world that we're in, you know. So select images. So you can use programs like Pixabay to choose images. Be careful about images. You don't want to use other people's images because they're copyrighted. So get your site or course copy ready. This is a big one. So we haven't touched Zenler yet. We're just saying you need to do this, you need to do that. Plan out your course, how you want it to work for your students. Is it going to be a membership? Is it going to be a one-off payment? Is it going to be a payment plan? You know, these are things that you need to plan out in advance. Also think, are you going to use any external integrations in the course or site? If you make sure Zenler supports them, so make sure Zenler supports them. Ask the community. So foreseen is forewarned. So if you have a system that you're using and you want to carry on using that, make sure it integrates with the Zenler system, or ask on the Facebook group, and we will help. So are you going to use any automations for emails in the course site, i.e. when someone completes a course, they get a custom email, or when someone enrolls, they get a custom email? So we have tutorials on automations, but if you're going to do automations, they need to be part of your plan as well. So you need to write out what you're going to do. So someone enrolls, what are you going to write out to them? Thank you for enrolling in my course. I'm really pleased to have you here, blah, 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 blah. Visit my YouTube channel, visit my Facebook group. You know, this needs to all be planned out in advance. And again, before you've even gone into the platform itself. So after that, we then start building the site, because we've got our logos, we've got our branding, we've got our copy. So now we can start to go in, we've got our inspiration. So before you start to create your first course, you need to build your site pages. So we had a look at Site Page Builder, really easy to use. As you already have all your copy images prepared, it should be a breeze. Use tutorials.zenler.com to learn how to build a site, quick start guide. Use the Facebook community and ask them what they think. So when you've done it, what do you guys think? Get a little bit of feedback, or friends and family or colleagues. However, stick to your branding guidelines, keep things consistent. Don't start jumping around in a page. When you're locked into something, it's very easy after a while to get kind of like bored with it. I know it's weird, it might be the best design in the world, but if you're working on something, trust me, if you're working on something for like a few days, you'll get bored with it. Other people will go, wow, it's amazing, but you'll be bored of it because you're looking at it all the time. But please, please do not start doing different things on other pages, because you go, oh, that looks good, I'll put that on there, because then that's not consistent with all the other pages. So consistency, stick to your branding guidelines. So next thing, after you've done that, you've got the course together. You might have put a form in there to collect leads coming in. So you've got your site, your beautiful site is all up, it's all hooked up to your custom domain, and you haven't built your course. But it doesn't mean you can't launch your site. You know, you can have your site up there, you just haven't got a course in there. So now you're ready to build your course. So you've planned out your course, you're going to start putting your course together. You won't publish your course, you're just starting to build it. And when it's ready, you'll publish it. And then you have a system. So you'd set your pricing up and there. So testing the site. So when you do have that site built, you need to go in there and you need to test how a student, you know, it's really easy to just launch it and just go, oh, I finished, it's launched to the world. but you haven't tested it. You haven't seen what students see. So you need to go through that process, and you need to test your whole site on a desktop. You need to test what it looks like in a tablet, and you need to test what it looks like in a mobile as well. Test all the forms work as expected, or any automations and integrations. So you need to make sure that it's all working before you go, yes, I'm ready to launch. So once you've got that, you're going to then say, I'm ready to launch. So now all the work is done, you can safely launch your site and course. When using the Pro Premium package, make sure that you set up your domain or subdomain and do another check. Tutorials.newzenler.com, Ask Zenler is the place to go for help on anything Zenler. So guys, that is how you can launch it all, and then you move on to marketing. So once you've got something to sell or market, then you'd market it. So you have your site and course launch. Now you need to shout about it. So marketing basically is shouting about your product, whatever it may be. So you need to set up your social sites. Hopefully you will have done that before, and start telling people to join groups that are applicable. So join groups that are applicable to your niche. Give them something for free to get them to sign up. So you're creating a little bit of a buzz, like get my free PDF on the top 5 yoga exercises for over 60s or something, and you could put that on. There's a free giveaway to people, you know. So there are things you could do. You could do a video series funnel. I've just started a video series funnel. I'll show it to you in a minute, just after I've done here, I'll finish this. So the main aim is to get them to sign up. So you can create funnels, landing pages, you can run live webinars, live streams. Make sure you have added Google Analytics and Facebook Pixel to your site, stay active, and help other people to raise your profile. So you might notice there's a lot of the partners on there. I know Amit's one, and there's a lot of others who actually go on there and they help a lot of people out. This does not help, this helps them a lot, because people know that they're experts on using the Zenler platform, and then people go to them. I'm sure people private message them to ask them to create things for them and stuff. So they get work, and that's only because they've helped other people out. They've shown that they're lovely people, good characters, and people then trust them, and then they will buy from them because they do trust them as nice people. And that's the key. So if you're helping people, it comes back to you, you know. If you're being negative all the time on some of these groups, you don't expect to get work, you know. So you reap what you sow, basically. So let's move on to, for engagement, we need to trigger network effects by building communities. So I know Pauline's here with a question on community. So set up a community on NZ, so New Zenler, for communities feature. So activate lesson discussions. Inside of all the lessons, you can turn discussions on so that people can view. Personally, I don't use discussions because it's just too much to manage. I can't be bothered. I'm a bit lazy like that. I'm a very busy person. I can't be monitoring everyone's question every now and again. So I do have communities, but the community almost runs itself now. And you stay active on the community, at least at the beginning, until it starts the momentum of people getting to know each other. Run live classes using the New Zenler Live feature as well. So you can build that engagement going through. And then, of course, rinse and repeat. Good luck, everyone. So that is our roadmap. People love this roadmap. So it tells you the steps to go through. You just follow those through and you'll see. Now, I'm going to stop sharing because I just mentioned to you a second ago that I'm going to show you a little funnel sequence that I've already put together. If I can find it. I have to be careful because this is a live site. So okay, let me share. Okay, so yep. Okay, so yeah, I've got a funnel here, and you're going to see it's actually quite a big funnel. This is a video series funnel. I've just I did it initially as a lead magnet, and then I just I just added videos inside it. So it's completely custom. I did all the bits. I didn't follow a template. So we have an opt-in page, and then we have a thank you page. So when someone opts in, they'll go through to the thank you page. So if we look at the opt-in page, here it is here. So it's basically just a free beginners course on program that I use, and tells people a little bit about it in here. And they put their name, email in, they're then captured as leads. They can sign up for free. So what happens after they sign up, they are tagged with a tag that says ZBrush, ZBG, I think it is, ZBrush guide. And I know that those people have gone through this because I've got people coming through the front page of my site, and I've got people coming through the funnel because I'm advertising them separately. So, yeah, so this is the page. Then they'll go to the next page, which will just be a thank you page. And there it is. So what I do is I don't take them any further now. I get automations to fire out an email giving them a link to the next step, which is this one here. So this is the first part of the course. Okay, so once they have access to, so one email automation goes out saying, thank you for signing up, and here you go, you can get into the course here. Now I put little buttons at the bottom that allow you to jump across to different videos. And hi Tracy, good to see you. So as soon as they get that automation that's sent out to them, they'll then go to this page here. So this is a video. So this is a video lesson in here teaching the first part. It's an introduction, gives a little bit of information. I no longer use automations from that point on. I've done all I want to do with this at the moment. What I've done is I've captured them as leads. That's all I care about. I don't want to communicate with them at this point in time because the site is not finished yet. So I've got them all sitting there ready for me to sell later on. So once they're in here, I've then just automated this to go to the next step in the funnel. So all it does is it goes to the next step, which is this one. And then this one's got a button in that goes to the next step, which is this one, and so on and so on. And that's how it works. So if they click here, you're going to see that it will go to lesson 2, and they can watch this, and then they can go to lesson 3. So this is a full course done as a funnel. So they go 4, then they go through here, 5. So you can see it's going through all of my funnel steps that are in here. And until I get to the end part, I'm not sure how many lessons I did. I think it was about 12. So applying materials, and they go through, and notice the colors changing each time. So I'm giving them a little bit of a different experience between each of the screens. So then it goes to 12. Well, I think this is nearly the last one. And then it goes to 14, 15. Okay. Didn't realize I'd done so many. And we go through. So they've only received one email. They can just go through this. And finally, and I think this is the last one, it ends with one massive 1-hour workshop at the end. And this goes through here. And then I have a last bit. And it says 3 beginners guide completed, take your next step. And this is where I talk about what's coming and my other courses that I have out. So I've got this ready for more courses. These are courses on another site. And then I've got pre-register for this particular site that's coming out later. So you see how powerful funnels can be. Really cool to, yeah, exactly, Gabriel. So people can access the videos at the same time. Yeah, absolutely. They can just go through them. This is not a course. This is in a funnel. Okay, there's a difference. It's not done as a course. It's been done as a funnel. The reason being is I don't really care. Even if the search engines pick up on any of these steps, I don't care, because people are coming to it. And all I want them to do, they'll just click next all the time, because that's what people do. Next, next, next. They might not even watch, but they'll get to the end page here. And this is the most important page, because this will get them to go in to take more of my courses, or it will get them to pre-register for the ZBrush page. This works, this method. I've used it many times, and I'm already creating leads. I think I launched it yesterday. I've got about 60 in there already. And I haven't even tapped into any of my big groups or any of my students that are on the other site. So it's a proven method. It definitely works, but I have a big YouTube channel. So that you'll see on my YouTube channel that makes a big difference, because this is Zenler, hold on. You'll see I've actually put the videos on my YouTube channel. Let me go to my channel here. Right, so here, those video steps you saw are these videos. Okay, so I'm using YouTube to promote each of the videos. I'm also setting up pages on my site in the funnels and using those. So what happens is Google search results will give me a search result. So if I take, for instance, let's just go to Google and I put free ZBrush workshops. I don't know what's going to come up for this, but let's see. There we go. So all my videos, yeah, are here. Yeah, I've got a #1 page listing. See them all? So people are going to click through. So when they click through to one of these videos here, let me pause it and go down to read more information. They're going to get links to all of my courses and to sign up for the workshops as well. So that's how it can work. So what I call it is a circle of profit. It's like if you can do something, but you can use that same thing for something else, you're basically getting that other thing for free. So I always knew that I was going to do a funnel because I didn't want people to register. I didn't care if people registered on the site. I can send them straight to the first step page of the funnel. They don't need to register. They can work their way through. I didn't care that I didn't need them to register. I just wanted them to be able to take that first part of the course so I don't have to reteach it when I'm training them. So for me, I had to do it. I've done a ZBrush course that was a long time ago, a while ago, probably 2 years ago, and I needed to do a new version of it. So it's something I had to do. So but then I realized that if I turned it into a marketing funnel, not only will I drive leads in there, but I could also reuse those videos on my YouTube channel to drive page 1 ranks on Google, which again brings organic traffic through those pages that I wouldn't have got if I didn't put them on YouTube as well. See, so that's how it can kind of work. Now I've only just started this. These haven't been up for that long, only about a week, 6 days, you can see there. So they've not been up for long, and I haven't put them across other social medias. I haven't even put them on my Facebook groups. It's just, this is what I call a slow burn. So I'm not going full guns with this stuff. I'm burning it up slowly. So over the next 3 months, I'm going to ramp it up. My site will be finished and then everyone will come in at the same time. So that's what I'm doing. But it's interesting for you guys to see, because then you start to think about it a little bit more. So yeah, so I've got Pauline was asking, so not sure if I've changed something accidentally. The process I'm talking about is when you go to communities in the header, what should happen? As on the NZ tutorial site, it takes you to the communities in which you are registered. On my site, it takes me to my community URL page, but doesn't list the communities which I am registered. Yeah, I get what you mean, Pauline, but without going into your site, I'm never going to know what you've done, really. The communities little tab that comes up should come up automatically. So unless you've pointed it somewhere else, I don't know. What I would suggest, right, do this. Log in as, sign yourself up as a student, use a different email address, go into incognito mode, log in. So sign yourself up and enroll yourself in that course, log in incognito mode and test what you're seeing. Because a lot of people have this, you're seeing a different experience if you're looking at it in your own, in your admin side of things. Like here, let me show you. Because I'm logged in as admin, you as admin get access to everything. So you see things like here, this community come up. And you'll see if I preview the page, I've got the community come up. But if I logged in incognito mode and not as admin, this wouldn't come up, you know? So let's just, I haven't got that page. Let me go to the actual proper site page because I've got it here. Let's go into incognito. So if I go into here, this is what I see, community, because I'm logged in. But if I go into incognito mode, this is actually what people see. No community, yeah, because I'm not logged in. All right. So you want to test it out. You want to actually sign yourself in as a student and then see what they see. And then if you're a student in there, enroll yourself in the course. Just need to go to enroll yourself in a course. And that should, then you'll see. And if you have done that. So who knows? Who knows? Right. Okay. Yeah, maybe we need to talk about that, Pauline. Maybe I can come in and help you with that afterwards. Just PM me. I'll get back to you. It won't be this weekend, but it might be Monday, if that's all right. So then I can have a lot. I'm sure it's something very, very simple. It's something that comes up from time to time, but yeah, just send me a PM and I'll get back to you. Thunderstorms. Oh, Tracy's got thunderstorms and lightning here, so her internet's dropping out. That's not good. Actually, Tracy's a bit of an expert on communities as well. She might be able to help you. You got any ideas, Tracy, on that one? Sounds a bit weird. Yeah, just get back to me on that, Pauline. All right. Okay. So I want to talk about now, I'd like to talk about memberships and how to plan for memberships. So I've got a nice little graphic-y thing to show you. So again, I'm going to open this up. Let's just make sure I've got the right slide. Okay, right, I have. Always nice. Right, let's go full screen mode. All right, okay. Right, so this is a slide I put together for the last time I ran some Sunday lives. So membership sites. Right, so what I'm going to show you now should hopefully help you visualize how a membership site could be run inside Zenler. Now we're taking into account now, probably if you're an absolute beginner to this, it might be a little bit gobbledygooky, but when you've got a course, you've got like your sales page, your thank you page, your checkout page, your course access page. Course access page is only available once you've bought the course. So as long as you remember that, that's how it works. Now, remember also we have with bundles. So in a bundle, you can have a bundle can be sold. So it's got its own sales, thank you page, checkout page, thank you page, and course access page for a bundle. But you can put courses inside bundles. So you can access, so someone's got access to that bundle, they can also jump to each of the courses that are inside the bundle. So they can be linked up. So if you think of it like that, then it becomes a little bit more obvious that you could turn that into a membership site. And that's what we're kind of going to be showing you now. So I've done it as a kind of slideshow type thing. So like in this case study, I've chosen for my method for creating a membership site. This is going to be a bundled course. This will give me maximum flexibility going forwards. Okay. So I choose a bundled course because if I want to add more content to it, I can, as a separate course. If I just have it as a course, then I could put it as another section inside the site, but it wouldn't give me the flexibility I want to create something brand new within the course. So in this particular example, I've chosen to create a membership site using a bundle because I believe that it gives you the maximum flexibility. So key points for choosing this method: ability to automate each course in the bundle if I choose to. Ability to send an email when they finish each course in the bundle. Okay. Progress reports are visible to me on the courses that they've taken inside the bundle. I can add course access pages for each of the course and link them to each other, forming a membership style site. Okay, so I'm able to tag students in each course as well as the main bundle. So it gives me the flexibility of tagging per course, even if they're in a bundle. So for me, this is the best method, but we're going to have a look at what we've done anyway. So using the course bundle membership. So inside here, we've got our prospect, which is orange. They view your site, they go to your sales page, and then they see many courses in one bundle. So once they've bought this, they will then go through here to the bundled course access page, and then all courses in one bundle are in here, and then they can be linked together. So that's how the bundle kind of works. So it goes from one, but it contains many courses. That's the crux of it, really. So that's how that kind of works. So I'm going to jump into another slideshow now where I've actually done a proper worksheet on different scenarios. So understanding the principle will help you when you're deciding what to do with your site. So let me flick this one up and then jump back to the screen share. All right, okay, so membership sites. So let's go through here. So we have lots of different, we have a single page membership site. This is just a single course, just have one course access page. We have multi-page, so you can access multiple courses, but giving the user the feeling they are on one membership site. So a multi-page site would be a bundle. Extras into any of the pages, the curriculum could be re-added. So you don't have to put the curriculum into any of the courses inside the bundle if you didn't want to. So this just gives you an idea of the flexibility. You have got the curriculum, and most people would be using that for working through a course. But if they wanted to just tie the pages together, you could do that using the course access page and remove the curriculum completely. So keynotes, using the private course access page, we can present our membership material. We can access multiple courses and use these course access page to deliver more content. You can, of course, add more and delete from the pages if required. So you can add more content in those pages, or you can remove it. Now, cons, no course tracking. It doesn't show any course tracking. It will show course tracking if you have a curriculum built into it. And futures, and are aware more and more people are wanting the ability to use the page builder for membership site. With this in mind, we're adding features to add and track pages later. So that was something that was mentioned some time ago, where we're having the ability to add more than one course access page would be a good idea. Need to check with Rakesh. I think that's on the roadmap, but I might need to check with him on that. So you can still use tiers and you can still drip with this. So if we look at a single page membership, this is kind of the graphical side where you're seeing what's happening. So a single course, sales, checkout, thank you, then they can access this course access page. So a multi-page membership is a little bit like this. So it goes through this process and then they've got multiple courses inside of one bundle. Now, all of these courses, all of these pages are course access pages, so you could link them all up together. So when the person's in that course access page, you could have a link going to course 1, course 2, course 3, and in all of the course 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., you could have links going to all of the other pages. So you can almost build it like a little internal website. Using courses. This is if we could bypass the curriculum altogether, creating a kind of full membership site. If you want to, you know. So some people have used this. Some people have bypassed the curriculum altogether and they're just using this. I know one guy who's actually done a media library. So he's just got videos, different niche videos, different genres in different pages. So he set it up like that and they all link together. It's a subscription. They go in there, he adds new content in there, puts a featured bit in there, and they're able to just jump around their 10, 20 pages. And he's got that all set up and working, and he's not using the course curriculum player in there at all. So this is something that people are using, and this is how it works. So visually, I'm hoping this is demonstrating to you. Yeah, so I think, yeah, so I think it's demonstrating to you the method here that's involved. So that's how sort of course membership plans can work inside Zenler. Now, we're always looking, as I mentioned earlier, we're always looking for better ways to make it easier. And like I said, the ability to create multiple course access pages and use the page builder more for the curriculum section could be something that's added in time. But it is something we're aware of. But at the moment, using this method, you can create a lot of different types of membership sites inside there. Now, if you're not clear with this, I do suggest you go into our NZ Masterclass bundle and you go into the Zenler Extras area and go into my Sunday live workshop. Inside there, you're going to find a whole, I think it's about 2 videos on membership sites. Watch that, because I go into detail about exactly what these slides do. So that's kind of memberships on there. So I think next I have a course creation slideshow. We're getting to 10:39. I might have a little bit of a break. I think I'm going to have a little bit of a break for about 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to have a little break now and I will come back to you. And in the meantime, if you've got any questions, put them in there. Put them in the chat. And then at 11:30, we've got Liz coming on, and she's going to be teaching getting motivated and succeeding with your courses and sites. So yeah, have a coffee, Pauline. Good one. Right, I'll just put the thing up and then I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Yeah, any questions you think of, please put them in there in the chat and I can get to them. That's my priority. A day with Zenler, my priority really is making sure that any questions are answered. So if you want to put them in there, I will stop what I'm doing. Obviously, when I have the people come in and present, they have to present their whole thing. So, but whenever I'm on, you can interrupt me as much as you like, because I'm here for you today. So I will try and cover all the bits I'm doing, but if I don't, then it's more important that I answer your questions. So have a good think what you want to know. Tracy's put something up, but I'll see you in 10 minutes. I'll be back to answer any questions when I come back. See you in 10. See you guys. Hi guys. Okay, back again. All right. So yeah, I can see Tracy's put a oh, that's a year as Zenler. Okay, right. So yeah, Tracy's put in there. She uses images that link to categories of courses. Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, that's it. That's exactly what we've done for our tutorial site. Our tutorial site is kind of locked off, so it's not a kind of registered site. So it allows us to kind of open up to be able to do different things with. And if I just show you that now, then it becomes, and in fact, I did a workshop on this, showing you how the tutorial site was put together. So like if we're showing anything, we tend to do a site, we tend to do a live on it so that you can see how it's kind of working. If I go into the site, I need to be a little bit careful because we've got live students. So again, you know, these things have to be handled delicately when you're doing lives, just for you guys to know. So I'll just put this up now and kind of show you how it kind of works in a nutshell. All right. Okay, good. Okay, I can show. So yeah, as Tracy was saying, she's got her images to category. So this is our tutorial site. You can see all our courses, loads of them. And what we have is we have a bundle, and inside that bundle we have multiple courses. So this is a bundle. This is what is displaying on here. This is access to all of this. This is done through that. And inside here, you're going to see that we have our content inside here. So these are all the courses that are actually inside, and they're all split out by the pages. So if we go into the course access page here, we go to the pages, and you're going to see that I've organized it like this. So if we preview this page here, this sales page, you're going to see it tells you about the sites. It's free, yeah, and then you've got access to here. And then inside here, the checkout page, again, it shows you the categories up here. And then, of course, you buy. Well, you don't buy because it's free. And then it's this course access page. And this course access page is the key here. So let's just preview that quickly. And you'll then see what's going on. So inside this course access page, these links now just go to the different courses. Look down here on the left-hand side. It goes to Zenler Learn. It goes to Zenler Marketing, and it goes to Zenler Extras. And then inside those are those areas. So inside each of the courses inside there, they all link up with these blocks. So this block was basically created once, and then it was just reused in all the sections. So if I go into like the Zenler Learn area, which goes to Zenler Learn, you can see I've actually set a page up for this. So if I go into the pages, and this is where I've used normal pages because I've locked out registration. And you'll see in here, I have these kind of education zone. This is a Zenler Extras area. Zenler Learn is here. So if we just view that Zenler Learn page, it gives you access to this. So these then enter in to each of the courses. So this is a very complex version. So what we did is we locked out anyone being able to register. You know, like normally you can go into, like if I go into the demo site, if I go into the demo site here, you're going to see that you can, let me just go into incognito, you can register. Well, what I've done is I've turned off the standard register page. So, you know, you can sign in as normal, and then you can go, oh, sign up, and go there, and you can sign up there. Well, that page, this page here, I've deleted that block out, and all I've done is I put a button there that directs them back to the NZ Masterclass sales page. So they have to go through there and register. So no one gets in as just a registered user. When they're in there, it's because they've signed up for the course. So this means by doing this, that I can then comfortably use pages inside here, because I know only people that are in that course can see these pages. Even though they're published, they're only for logged in users. They're not for, like if I take this page here and I try and do that in incognito, you're going to see, in fact, let me prove it. Go in here, you're going to see logged in users, only for logged in users. So no one's going to see that unless they're logged in through the course. So if I put it on there, you're just going to go back to trying to log in, and it doesn't let you. So that's how the tutorial site was put together, which is just a more of an elaborate version of what Tracy has done by locking out the registration page completely. There's only one way to make it into the site. In this case, because tutorials.new Zenler is a training hub, we only want one bundle and all the courses in it. Of course, we release other lives, like Kevin's doing his challenges, his blogs. He can still have courses in there outside of the bundle. And then later on, if he wants to turn that into an evergreen course, he can just throw it into the bundle, and then it becomes available. Then we just link it up inside the pages, and it links up to the new course that's in the bundle. And of course, you can apply that to all students so they all get access to it. So that's how we do it. It's quite an elaborate version we use in there, and it required quite a lot of thought. But it's been quite good for us at Zenler, because we've been getting feedback from you, how you want to see the tutorials, how you wanted the tutorials broken up. Because initially we had all of the courses just in a block, and they were just like loads of courses, and people were coming in there and they were saying, the first thing they were saying is they don't know where to start. There's too much going on, there's too many courses. So we realized that there is still a need for all of the courses we're doing, but we need to make a way of organizing it so that it's very easy for you to navigate around in the platform. And that's exactly why we created those zone areas. So we got those zone areas, we can put as much content. So if we're doing extra videos for you and things, we can just bung it into the Zenler extras area and know that that's just on its own. And then the more important areas, which is the Learn Zenler, which is all about the platform itself, which is our product, we need to make sure that that is in Learn Zenler and separated away from even the marketing, the boot camps, all of this stuff. It needs to be on its own. It's that important that people take that quick start guide and they don't get confused. So we decided to completely change the way the system works. Remember, this site was live. We got thousands of people in this platform, and we had to do it so that it didn't affect anyone. It was quite hard. You know, we had to export all of our users out, and we had to bring them all back in and import them into the NZ Masterclass bundle so they had instant access. So from that point of view, it was quite a challenge, because we're dealing with people. I mean, imagine if people had paid for all of this stuff, you know, then we'd have to be even more delicate. But as they didn't, we could just take them out, bring them back in, say, no, you've got access to this. And you can just, so it's working a little bit differently from the old days. Like you guys, especially I know Tracy's been around a while, she will have known the old system, how it worked. And hopefully it's improved it. We've had a good feedback. So on the way that it's working, it makes it clear where you go. So we thought we'd do these nice big blocks, nice big buttons. So, you know, bang, 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 you can see the courses and you know what's important to you. So that was really important for us. And, you know, we wanted to keep Zenler simple as well, because like Zenler is complex. There's no doubt about it. You can touch the surface, and by touching the surface, you can, even after 4 hours, you can build your site and you can build your course, and you can happily make money and not touch the design too much. But as you grow as you as a business, as you as a brand, as you as an instructor, you'll want more. and you've got that ability to have more. I was asked the question actually this morning by one of our instructors saying, you know, you've done videos on like coding, you've done videos on branding. Does that mean that I need to learn coding? Do I need to learn how to be a graphic designer? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And I was like, no, of course not. No, you just do what you do. You know, if you don't want to touch coding and things, you don't have to. If you don't want to learn or create your own design, you can get someone else to do it for you, you know. But actually managing stuff or having a simple system is what Zenler is all about. And I know Kevin mentions this all the time. We don't expect people to be creatives. You know, I mean, if you're a course instructor, you're automatically going to be creative because you're creating your content. So there's that side of it. There's design creative, which is completely different. And that's why we supply these videos. It's not that you need, we try and supply you with all the information you do need. You don't need any information. You don't need to go off and do a degree in art and design. We give you the information, we give you the rules that you should follow. And if you stick to them, then you'll have a really nice looking site. And in fact, you know, there's I think on one of the pro interviews that Kevin did, in fact, I'll flick it up, that one guy in there that's doing a really good job, he has not changed his site at all. You know, it's basically as it come out the box. There's not really a lot of stuff going on in it at all, but it's the way he's done it. So I would suggest that you check out this video, because you can see that he, you know, this guy here is Ankush Chopra. He has his site is pretty much as it comes out of the box. And I'm sure he's changed it a bit since this interview, because it was 5 months ago, but it looked like it had come out of the box, but it still did the job, you know. And I think Kevin mentions that in the pro interview itself. I don't know if he's put the link to it down here. Yeah, it's here. And it's basically the standard design that comes out. Now, he might have changed this. I'm going to flick it up. Yeah, he's changed it a bit, but it's still got that normal out the box feel, you know. Yeah, he's changed it quite a bit. It was closer to that, but it's just these basic blocks. And this is the other thing as well, which I didn't point out to you when I was going through the page builder, is that we have these built-in blocks. You know, if we go into the site pages, you can also grab these blocks from the left hand side. So if I just go into the edit here, we have all these blocks and things that you can add when this loads. So Tracy's come back. Yes, I did. So all my course progress was changed. Well, how did that happen? Well, they must be going through a curriculum to do that, Tracy, if it's carrying on the course progress. I'm a good example of learning enough from your ninja tricks. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Tracy plays around with things. She's a good one for trying things out, and respect to her for doing that, because it's not her thing, you know, coding and stuff, but she wants to do things. She looks and she goes, I like that. That's really good. I'd like to be able to do that. So she jumps into one of the courses, you know, follows it to the letter probably, and then it works for her, and then she moves on. So she does these things and puts them in there. And yeah, her site is amazing because she tries things out all the time. And it's so nice to see, because I know, like, you know, but she's got one of these curious minds, haven't you, Tracy? So yeah, so what I was saying up here, you have these blocks. Now we've created lots of blocks for you. So we have like lots of call to action blocks. So inside here, if you don't want to design anything, you can take some of these beautifully designed blocks and you can just drag them across, and you can use these. So you can come in here and you can just use some of these blocks that we've already created. You can come into the background colors, change that up. You know, you can come into the text, change the text as you see, however you like it. And you can use these as bases to move across. So we have all these blocks down here. You're going to see there's tons of them, you know, all for different things. And play around with those, because blocks are really good. Of course, you can save your own stuff out. So we've even got things like gallery blocks down here as well, where you can put your own images in there and things like this. So lots of them are easy to create yourself. FAQ blocks, dividers, we've got features in here. So you've got all of these feature blocks, and I've seen these used a lot in sites. And these are all mobile responsive. And there we go. So we've got these like blocks that are in here, and they're all set up and ready for you to use. So you don't even need to. You could create your whole site just using those blocks. Drop the blocks in, change the colors. Like you'll be able to change the colors and all of this stuff by going into the settings. And or you should be able to. If I go into style down here and I change it to something like a red, again, you know, it changes. I can change the size of that as well by changing the font size. If I wanted it slightly bigger, I could go in like that. And all of it very highly editable using that gear icon. So we do supply you with all these blocks. So I normally go up to the left hand side and pull the blocks out, but you can also go and click down the bottom here and add a new block, and then you're going to get this come up and you can just select them from here. So if you need to, wherever you see the word dynamic, it pulls content in from somewhere else. But you've got a nice little header block here, which could be used in page. And, you know, I can just drop that in there. And looks nice. There we go. So it's gone back to its gone back to the site's branding. There we go. So we'll turn it off there. It goes back to what it was before. So again, you know, go in and edit that. So we give you all these blocks in there, and you can build your whole site using ready-made blocks that are in the system, as you can see, like Ankush has for his. You know, he'll just use some of those. He's added quite a lot more to this site. But watch that video, because you'll see his site in there, and then you'll understand that he's just basically using the basic system, got the site working, started to make money, and then he's gone back and just made it better. So he's got that money coming in, and then he's starting to change it and get more of a style to it. I know Ankush is around quite a lot on the workshops, and I think he's paid attention to lots of the branding things that have been mentioned, because I can already see there's much more consistency in his site than there was initially when I saw it last. So good job, Ankush. So we got some stuff coming in now. That's good. I do love a challenge. Need to work on a better success path or pathways for students next. Yeah. So it's always but nice one. So can we track a student's progress and download into Excel? No, we can't at the moment. They spent on lessons if they've completed lessons. Yeah, you've got progress of stuff they've completed in the report sections. Just have a look in the complete guide to Zenler. And Pauline saying, I love challenge too, Tracy. I just have a lot of learning to do. Yeah, we're always learning. You know, and this is what I love about working in sort of software, and especially communities of people. You learn from each other. You know, it's like, I know Tracy is so incredibly helpful on the Facebook group. She's helping people all the time, saves me a lot of work, and the team a lot of work in answering questions. So it's really nice that you are helping each other, and you're all at different points in the journey, you know. So someone who's just come into it might be scratching their head and not knowing what to do. And I've seen posts go up on Facebook, but Facebook posts where people have actually said, I don't know what to start, I don't know how to do this, and the group have actually got behind that person and really helped them, motivate them and give them confidence to move forwards. And that's what it takes sometimes, but I guarantee that if you stick with it, then after you've been doing this for, you've run 3 or 4 courses or even 3 or 4 lives, you'll just get the hang of it, and then you'll just be flying at that point. Sometimes it's a confidence thing. Putting yourself out there is a really hard thing to do. I think age has a lot to do with it as well, and obviously how much you do of this stuff. You know, you just get better and better, and more relaxed as well. I remember the first live I did when I was with Zenler, and I had butterflies, and because, like, even though I've been doing this stuff for years and talking in front of audience, I always had those butterflies, and then after like a minute of talking, it all goes. And then after a while, that just disappears. Then you just do what you do, you know. It doesn't become, as long as you've got something to follow, you're fine. I learn more when I answer those questions. Tracy's put in there. So yeah, she's good. So brilliant, guys. So we're coming up to the next part pretty soon, and I think I've got some more things to show you, some more slideshows and stuff. So I'm going to jump in again. So I'm trying to do lots of slideshows today, but I just make sure I've got the right ones. I've got so many. All these slideshows you're seeing, by the way, are normally handout sheets that I've done with courses. Yeah, and some of them don't make sense unless you've got them in, unless you're doing them as a workshop and you're showing people as you run through it. But you know, if you need you want any help with anything, just let me know. Here we go. Right. Right. This is quite a good one. Okay, live classes. So a lot of people don't understand the difference between all the live types we've got inside Zenler. And maybe you guys are some of these that don't understand. So I'm going to try and make it a little bit clearer of a little bit of a slideshow. So let's jump into running lives, the Zenler slideshow. So let's go to this. I'm going to do an analysis of live webinar streams. So I want to just tell you what the difference is, right? So live classes, you've got live classes in there. You've got live classes, you've got live interactive webinars, and you've got live streams. So a live class only allows registered users of a course to attend. The exception is if you check the registered user checkbox, in which case anyone registered on the site can attend. So generally, live classes are used for people that are in a course. So you would have a course, say Sunday Lives, and you'd set up live classes in the live section, and you'd make that live class, you'd link it to registered users in the live class on Sundays. So then it would be just for them. What does this do? This stops people going to the registration page and signing up, because they can't sign up because they are not registered in the course. So if they haven't bought the course, they won't be able to get access to the live. So we're going to talk about thoughts about the usage of that in a minute. So live webinars are completely different. Live webinars are kind of really used to just bring leads into the platform, or people that you invite into your live webinar because you're showing them something, or you might be later on getting them to buy into your platform. So when they do register for the live webinar, they will come in there as leads for that. So it means you can sell them something later. So there's a big difference between the live classes and the live webinars. Should have said, so Tracy said, I'm just jumping back here before we carry on. So I haven't tried the recurring live webinars yet, hearing issues with automation on each. I think I think there was an issue with the automations going out on live reoccurrings, because we now have this ability to set live recurrings and set a live event up, and you can make it recurring, say like to go every Sunday. And I think initially there were some problems with the automations going out on each instant of the live event, but they have sorted that problem out. So again, like all these things, if you're running live class, live webinars, live streams, you should test all this stuff out and just make sure it is working as expected. So I think that problem has been fixed on recurring lives. So that is a live webinar. So normally live webinar will be used for bringing leads in. So if you're doing, say for instance, you want to bring people into your platform because you're just about to launch a new course or membership, you might want to put, say, live webinar coming on blah blah blah, and here is the sign up link to the register page. You might want to put that on your Facebook Facebook group page or your social media sharing, wherever you want to put it. And then people come in, register up for that, and then you can sell them something later, or you can give them a special offer at the end of the live webinar. So it'd be generally used as a way to drive traffic into your site. Not always, but that's kind of how I see it. Yeah. Live streams are like what we're doing now. We're streaming straight into the Facebook group. We can also live stream straight to YouTube as well. And this is another way to get people to engage and follow you, follow your links. You can put your links in the chat and get people to come into your site and again, buy from you on the platform. The good thing about live streams, of course, is no one needs to register. They just need to rock up. You can create an event on Facebook or even YouTube, and you can set that event up. People can click they're going. They'll be sent a reminder by the platform itself, Facebook or YouTube, that this event is happening. Turn up, and then they'll turn up. Don't have to register. Bang, they're in. So live streams, very powerful. We do live streams all the time, as you know. We do live builds. We do office hours Sundays. We do obviously the Day with Zenler. So they are all live streamed, and that's what we're doing now. We're doing that through Zoom. I'm not using a paid Zoom account or anything. This is all through Zenler itself. So usages. So for a live class, usage would be hold one-to-one sessions, run workshops for a membership site, work in conjunction with a calendar to book private sessions. So you could integrate something like Calendly or anything that you can embed into your course access page. You could do that as a live class. So live class, very much a class event, okay? And this keeps it all nice and private. So live webinars, run live webinars to increase subscription leads and also build trust in order to drive sales. Webinars could be also used for private sessions as well. So you could do that. And live streams. So live streams, do weekly and monthly streams for free to your Facebook group or YouTube channel to build engagement and market your courses, build value in these to increase subscriptions to your social outlets. So that is what that's all about. So moving through here, we've got live class example sheets. So inside here, we have number one, which is like a live class. You could run 3 live classes and you could put those live classes into a course access page. So someone pays for it, enters that course access page, and you set up those live classes and they could be released each week. You could keep adding to them, and that's how it could work. Especially now as we've got the new block. When I created this slide, we didn't actually have the live class block that you can put in, which basically shows all the live classes that you've got, and they just click them to go through. In fact, I can show you an example of that now. So I'm going to show you from the tutorial site, because we're running these Sunday lives, and inside these Sunday lives, we have a course related to it. So if I go into the course, there it is there, you're going to see, I'm just going to share again. And here we go. So inside here, we have pages set up, obviously sales page. This is not part of the NZ Masterclass bundle, but if we go and view the course access page here, you're going to see inside here that we've got 2 lives running. So one's running this Sunday, next one's running on the 9th of January. And here's the replays. So this is a live class situation. I'm actually using live webinars because Kevin uses live classes, and because we both share this site, I have to use webinars and he uses the classes. Just that's the way we work. That's the way we worked it out with each other. So what happens is inside of our lives here, you're going to see in live interactive webinars, you're going to see these 2 lives, and these are what's showing inside this page. Because all I've done is put in there the webinar block for that page. So that's how we're running this. And I've done this successfully for another course that I ran, but this works really well. I can put my replays in here after I finish, so they can run through a curriculum, and they can also book themselves straight into here when they enter into this course. So this works really well. So that shows an example of that stuff. So let me jump down to back into the slideshow again, and I won't put it in. Right. Oh, sorry guys, just going to go up. Yeah, so that's how that works. So you can put those in there. We have two, so you could have one-to-one sessions, so private one-to-one sessions. You could limit the course to one per session. So you could you could actually just do a one slot or send a link out, get someone to buy the course, and then they're added, and then shut the course down, and then hold a series of one-to-one sessions. So these are all ideas of how it could work. And you have a course access page with a calendar integrated. They book, and then you set up a live session with them, send them a link, and then they're in there. So these are ways that you could run these kind of live workshops, and we're only going to make it easier because we're going to have paid lives. So paid lives are going to make it so easy. And also we're going to have the ability to add lives that we set up straight into a course. So if you set up 10 live events, and you might want 5 in one course, five live events in another course, you'll be able to select them and pick them to go directly into the course curriculum. So then your student will turn up and you start your live your end, they're already there, and then they see you pop up. So that's going to be amazing when that comes out, and that's going to be pretty soon. So that's going to be super, super exciting, and it's going to allow us to avoid some of these where it's a little bit more complicated to set up. So that's going to be good for us. So next one we've got is live class webinar details page. Typos in here. Within the live classes or webinars, you have these options. So in live class, you can set the name of your class, set time zone, change the URL of the register page, set maximum amount of attendees. You can set the duration, so you can have a normal, extended, super extended edition, and who can register. So that's the main highlights. Live webinars, you can actually set them to actually a class, and all webinars and classes have pages set up for you based on a template you pick in automations. So that gives you that information there. And then we have the page to use for any paid live event. So once again, we're going to go through that flow of sales, checkout, thank you. And then they go into the course access page where you could set up your live events. You could even put a button in there going straight to that registration if you wanted to. So it's like it's saying numerous solutions can be created. But when we have the paid lives and those things, it's going to make life simpler. And that's what we're trying to do, where we see complications or where you have to do workarounds, and a lot of you are doing it. We then look at it and go, how can we make your life simpler? How can we make it so that it's much quicker to get to what you need to do? And obviously we're aiming a lot of this stuff, because we have the normal class stuff in there, but we're aiming a lot of this stuff on people that need to do things like therapy sessions, dog training, you know, all these kind of live to one Zoom sessions, because Zoom's such a big part of Zenler that we're now making sure that all these things like paid lives and all these come into effect, which is going to be brilliant for you guys, you know. And if you're on the Pro and Premium, it just happens. You don't have to pay extra for any of this stuff. It just happens on the platform. So that is a little bit about lives and how they work. Now I need to remember to send a link to our next slot. So Liz is coming up soon. So I'm just going to send. So how am I doing this? Like, how am I inviting Liz into this this group? Well, all I'm doing is, whilst I'm talking to you now, and I might as well tell you because, you know, it's good for you to know. So I've got the live going. So in the window up the top right, you're going to see a little badge with green. If you click it, you've got in there, copy link. Now, all I do is I copy that link, and then I just go onto my Facebook page and I send her a little message. So by sending her the message with the link, she can just pop on at 11:30 and begin her presentation. So when she pops up, that's all I've done. So if you're wondering why, you know, how does she pop up in there, then you now know. So I'm just going to wait. There we go. I've got her coming up in a second, and I'm going to send her this link, and then she can jump on. But at the moment, I seem to have a problem with my computer because the page isn't loading, and that's not good. Four minutes. So 2 seconds, guys, while I just send her the invite link. You got no power, Tracy. So you might not be hearing this, but yeah, I'm having a few technical problems my end. But, you know, that's what lives are all about. So I've posted that live Zoom link to Liz now. Now, obviously, if I put the live Zoom link in the chat, you guys could click it and you could join me here live. It's just something to think about. People have asked, like, how do you get people just to pop up in the screen while you're presenting a live? It's basically, I've sent that out to them. So they don't need to register. They click, their Zoom opens up and they just join me. So they've got that Zoom link there. So when we're 3 minutes until Liz comes on, and she's going to be motivating you all. And she's going to be on in a second. So I'm going to just quickly show you her website before she comes on. She should just pop on in a second. So here is a website here. And as you can see, it's take34u.co.uk. And she has, she deals in relaxing, releasing, you know, getting rid of the stress and all these things. She does a lot more, and she's moving from procrastination to getting motivated and succeeding. So connecting and all this stuff. So, you know, it's pretty good. This is, I think this is all built in Zenler, and lots of courses she's got going on here. So again, you know, very experienced. So it's going to be really nice for her to have a little chat about herself and tell you. And then obviously this afternoon we've got Amit here, we've got and Carol Robinson. So Amit's going to be talking about a white glove experience. That's a VIP experience. And then we've got Carol talking about what happened, you know, how we can relieve spending long hours at the computer and stuff, screen building, building our sites and our courses. So it's going to be interesting. Judy can't turn up because she's ill. She had her third booster and it's affecting her. So she was going to talk about sort of selling your products and how sounding great and things like that. She's a voice coach, so it'd be really good. She's going to turn up in the next one. So I don't know what's going to go on at 3 o'clock. Could be anything. So it might just be me, or it might be one of the team comes and joins us. Let's see what happens. So we're going to have Liz join us any second. And I'm going to stop the share. And she can introduce herself when she pops in. And then that will bring us to the end of the session 1. So, of course, as I mentioned before, this is the last one of 2021. So this is the last day with Zenler, and then we'll be starting again the last Friday in January. So I'm trying to still get people to come in and join me for a session. So if you've got anything you want to sort of like you think will help the community, then it'd be really good for you to sign up on our site. So I can see that Liz is joining us. She's joining us in a second. And I'm just going to put a link in the chat to where you can join us. And this is exactly what Liz did. Hi, Liz.
Hiya, you're right.
Good to see you. Yeah.
And you.
I've just told people, I've just shown people your website and stuff. So they've got they've seen your website, and I'm just about to put in there because you signed up for the to be on A Day with Zenler, didn't you? You went through.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So that's how Liz got in here and how the others got in here. So I'm going to put that in the chat. and then you can go in. If you think you've got something to share or show or help the community, then like Liz has, then come on and join us. We'd love to have you there. So hi, Liz.
Hi.
So would you like to just tell people a little bit about yourself and stuff?
Yeah, of course. So hi, I'm Liz Clifton, founder of Take 3 for You, that you have just been very kindly shown. Thank you so much for that. And I'm a confidence coach, a connection coach, a leadership mentor, and a Reiki master teacher trainer. So I'm basically here to support you to be yourself, to get rid of anything that's getting in your way, get you unstuck, released from any old sort of negative emotions like anger, fear, stress, procrastination, and then open up your skill set, your motivation, and just give you all those tools so that you can succeed across all areas of your life, which can include your family, your dogs, your business, absolutely anything. So yeah, that's what I'm here to do, support you.
Yeah, because I know like fear is a big one for people. It's that kind of like it's that thing is they think if they don't do it, then they haven't like they're not going to put themselves at risk. If you don't do something, you're like, well, I never failed at it, but then you never did it. Yeah. So you have to put yourself in it, but it's overcoming that fear that is a massive stumbling block to people. So that's why it's really great that you're here, Liz. So I'm going to let you're just going to take it away, are you? You're going to do it?
I am, yeah, I am. Are you ready?
I'm ready. All right. I'll turn my camera off and I'll let you just do your stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Okay, so the title of what I'm sharing with you today is Moving from Procrastination, Getting Motivated and Succeeding. So the first place to start is procrastination. And as David was just saying then, procrastination is going to occur because there's a reason behind it. So it could easily be that you're fearful of something happening. And it could even be that you're fearful of what will happen if you do succeed with something. There's many of us that have grown up actually, and we do have a certain amount of fear of doing well. We kind of feel perhaps we're not good enough to succeed. So procrastination is going to happen at a level, an unconscious level. There's going to be a protection. So your unconscious mind is going to be protecting yourself. And this can show up in so many different ways. So you may feel overwhelmed, you may feel anxiety, and just really find yourself stuck. So procrastinating, how do I get started? How do I get started? Now, a really simple way to sort that out is just to do it. Because if you jump in and just do something, then you've done it. And whether it's gone perfectly, whether there's room for improvement, it doesn't matter. You've given it a go. However, what I do understand is that is easier said than done. So let's go a little bit deeper into procrastination. So if you are to bring to mind now the last moment that you noticed yourself procrastinating about something, and just take a moment to just bring that to mind and just consider what could have been behind that. What could your highest purpose of not going ahead and doing that action, what could that have been? And be really honest with yourself here. So what's got in your way from actually completing or oftentimes even beginning that activity? Is it a fear? And if you go deeper, if it is a fear, is it a fear of success? Is it a fear that you're not good enough? Is it a fear that you just don't know how to do it? And just really be honest in what comes up for you. Now, procrastination and fear, and if you're still in that, if you've got your eyes closed or anything, then come back into the room and just join me here again. So as we begin to be honest with actually what's underneath that procrastination, what's underneath us not going ahead and getting on with or completing whatever the activity is. So a great example for me is about 18 months ago, and I'd got my new Zenler stuff sorted out. And I was sat there like, right, new business. Okay, I need a logo. And I can remember I spent about 6 weeks, I think, trying to get a good logo. Now, there may be others of you that have been sat there in a similar position. So a couple of things that I would say to myself now is, what would happen if you just went ahead with the logo you've got now? What would happen? What wouldn't happen if you went ahead with that logo now? What would happen if you didn't go ahead with that logo now? And what wouldn't happen if you didn't go ahead with that logo now? Excuse me. And so while you're asking yourselves those questions, and obviously that's about whatever activity you're procrastinating about, you're going to start to open up possibilities. And you then can begin to take responsibility for yourself for doing whatever the activity is. So it could be completing the course. It could be starting the course. It could be, going full in and signing up fully for New Zenler. And whatever it is that you're procrastinating about, just look into the future and think, what's going to happen if I do it? What's not going to happen if I do it? And then the reverse. What's not going to happen if I don't do it? What's not going to happen if I do it? And that's going to start to get you thinking about the activity or the project from all different angles. And once you've worked that out, you can then have a look at moving, because the whole point of this sort of share with you here is to move you from procrastination. So the moving is a massive part of it. If we continue to do the same thing we're doing now, we're going to get exactly the same results. So as you go deep into the reasons for your procrastination now, and you can work at an unconscious level, you can work at just an inner self level, just that work within you, understanding the why. Why is that happening? You can then change your mind. You can open up to the possibilities of what life's going to look like when you have completed it. So when you stop procrastinating and you actually just get on and you do it. Now, to look at that, to really encourage you and motivate you, so we're getting into the motivated section, is to look at what life is going to look like for you when you've achieved it, when you've completed it, when you've succeeded at completing this task. So again, what I like to do for myself is to take a few moments to just close my eyes. And again, you can do it with your eyes open, that's fine. But just have a think. What's it going to look like for you when that project, that task, that goal, that success, when it's completed? And really get deep into that picture. And that's why I love to close my eyes for this bit, because you can really just visualize how that's going to look for you. And as you do that, bring to mind the completion and that success. And just notice, what can you see? And what can you hear? What can you smell? What can you taste? What can you touch? And then just take those feelings of happiness, of success, and really, really turn them up to the maximum. So you're feeling that success, that happiness, that celebration, and that joy from completing, from succeeding, and turn all those feelings right up to the maximum. And then clear that screen and come back into the room. Now, I will do that with any goals that I have to work towards, with any projects, with any tasks. So for example, with this experience here, I visualize it going amazingly well. And as you do that, you're giving like your unconscious mind, you're giving your sort of inside of yourself, like a bit of a dress rehearsal of how awesome it's going to be when you're there and you've got to that point and you have succeeded, you've completed. And it's just really bringing that future into the now. And that can help you really be motivated because you know exactly where it is that you're heading. And from there, you can then set your goals. So you've got your big item, your big task, your big project, your course perhaps, your website perhaps, that you are working towards. And you then get to take that vision that you just had there and set it out simply. So you can begin to break that down into smaller sections. And what you're looking for is really, really small steps. And for example, on a day, I'd say begin with just 5 steps. And you can pop that into like a daily planner. There's one like free on my site. You don't even need to put your email there. And within there, or you can just note this down yourself. And so what you're looking for is like perhaps 5 to 7 steps. I'd suggest starting with 5. And it's going to be very clear. You're going to say what step you're going to do that day. And you're going to put a time for when you're going to do it that day. And then at the end of the day, you're going to look back and you're going to see, did you complete that task? And if not, what got in the way? Because very often when we're procrastinating, we're getting stuck in something. There's something that's showing up on a regular basis that is just getting in the way. And it could be that you're just not sure on something. It could be that you're worried about doing it wrong. It could be that you're just fearful of completing that section, because when you complete that section, you know the next section that you get to go on for. So it's just being really, really honest with you, with yourself, what is getting in the way. And as soon as you can begin to do that on your day-to-day basis, you then know what you get to do to sort that out. So it could be that you get to outsource, ask for some help with that section. It could be that you get to just seek some support. So for example, within this community, it's awesome, it's amazing. There are so many people that are here to support you. So you can draw on the experience that other people have had. And you can have a look at like good examples. And that's not to compare yourself to. It's just to see what's possible. And then to find the experts that you can draw on their advice and their support. And the other area that will support you with that daily planning is accountability. Accountability is amazing for encouraging you to keep on moving forwards. It also can support you with celebrating. And one of the things that really motivates me and supports me with accountability is that I have a good friend that I did some leadership training with. And each day we will send each other like a little, this is what I get to do today. And then, come the end of the day, we can say, yes, this is what I'm celebrating today. Because no matter what happens in your day, whether you get those 5 tasks done off your little daily planner or not, there will have been something that you can celebrate that day. Many years ago for me, it could sometimes just be getting out of bed, because sometimes that procrastination and that fear of actually succeeding and completing something can be so big that just getting out of bed that morning can be something to celebrate. It could be just taking a very tiny step forwards. So it could be, for example, if you're looking at creating a course on Zenler, it could be that that very first step is just considering, who is it that I get to serve? Who is it that I'm seeing in that vision of success for myself? Who is that audience that I've supported? Who have I helped? And it could just be that, a really, really tiny step, just considering who it is that this item is going to be for, who you get to support in completing it, as well as obviously yourself. Okay. And again, be honest. So a simple thing that I like to do with all of my tasks is just to have a look at what I've done over, say, the last 12 hours, 24 hours, and just look at the things within that. What are the things that I love doing that I definitely get to keep doing myself? What are the things that I really don't like doing that in an ideal world I'd be able to outsource to somebody else? Seek support for them. Because even if you're not in a position right at this moment to outsource it, there are always people that can support you. And it may be that you can, put together an accountability, like an hour. Let's all do this bit of planning together. So you may all get together for an hour and just do a weekly plan together, or just one buddy to do it with. Because when you find that you're working alongside somebody else, it doesn't feel so lonely, and we're all in the same boat. We're all working, like, often remotely at the moment, and especially within the new Zenler, there's a lot of work that you will be doing on your own, but when we're doing it together, you have that sense of community. So really, like, draw on the community support here and draw on your own support networks as well. And of course, I'm always here to support you too. So it's just drawing on that to keep you motivated, to keep you moving forwards. Because the more that you stay in motion, even if you're taking tiny, tiny steps, you're still pushing towards that completion. You're pushing towards that vision of success. And another thing to remember with your emotions is, if you're feeling like fearful, anxious, overwhelmed when you're in that procrastinating state, is remember that your emotions only last for 90 seconds. And if they're hanging on for longer than that, it's because there's things underneath. So I'm not saying you choose to hold on to your emotions for longer than 90 seconds, but if they're hanging on for longer than that, it's at a deeper level. So you're not consciously choosing to hold on to procrastination or sadness or fear, but it's at a deeper level that you get to address when you're ready to, and you'll know when you're ready to. And in the meantime, for those 90 seconds of emotions, there's some really easy ways to shift them. So emotions are energy. It's energy in motion. So a super simple way to do it is just to move your body. So it may be you're sat at your computer desk and you're just like, oh my goodness, overwhelmed, anxious, procrastinating. Get up and move. And the best thing to do is to actually move out of that room if possible. And it doesn't have to be for long. You can literally stand up, walk outside the room, come back in. If you've got a little bit more time, then you could put on a music track. So for myself, I have like a few different tracks that will get me into a more positive emotional state. So I have one for like being happy, for being confident, for being motivated, and you can just put those on. And if they're 90 seconds or over, even better, because by the time that track is finished, you've moved through that emotion. So you've naturally enabled yourself to move from whatever negative emotions, such as the procrastination, the overwhelm, into like confident, motivated, focused, or just happy. So that's another simple one. Then also another quick way to get rid of those emotions fast is to get outside, and just like a 1.5 minute step outside. It can be a little tiny walk. You could get up, you could do some jogging on the spot, you could do some star jumps, you can sing. just anything to release that energy. And another one that's easy to do if you're obviously with other people is to breathe. So you can just take the following pattern and then just extend it out for the minute and a half, or just until you feel calm, refocused, rebalanced. And it's simple. It's breathe in for the count of 1, breathe out for the count of 2. And if you've just done that, congratulations, you just took 3 for you. And in doing that and repeating that really simple pattern, you are naturally lowering your heart rate, naturally releasing, really relaxing thoughts and calmness into your body. And it's just a really easy way to shift out of a negative emotion and just collect yourself, just rebalance. And then it leaves you ready to go on and continue with the next part of your day. And if you're at any moment feeling that you're lacking that motivation, just bring back to mind that picture, that image of what life is going to look like for you when you have succeeded. And if it is a piece of work for a customer, so it's a specific project for your business towards supporting somebody, another amazing thing to do for the motivation is just to close your eyes and really bring to mind that customer, that client that you get to support, and consider where they are right now at their big pain point. And then consider, what's life going to be like when they've worked with you and you've released whatever their current problems and stresses and tensions are. And imagine how much better their life is going to be for them. How excited are they going to be using your product, your service, and just getting into that feeling of how your perfect client, your perfect customer is going to feel once they've worked with you. That gives you all the motivation that you need to actually really focus yourself to supporting them. Because at the end of the day, we're all in the work that we are in to support other people. And as you focus on how you're getting to support them, on how amazing your service, your product is going to affect their lives and change their lives, it gives you another really good goal to be heading towards, is making that change for those people. And as you're considering that success, that end point, just make sure that you put the steps in there that are measurable. So it's where that daily plan format really supports you, is just to be able to make sure that you can go back and just see, how are you doing against those goals, and constantly review them. And it's fine to change deadlines. That is absolutely fine, but be honest with yourself why you're doing it. And another way to really be checking in with that and to make sure you are being honest is to be like a fly on the wall. So you have a look at it and you think, oh, right, okay, so I was going to complete, the landing page by the end of this week. But, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to shift it till the end of next week. And just question yourself, like that fly on the wall looking down on you, and really notice, what's your motivation for moving that deadline? Is it that fear again? Is it that underlying fear of completing this step and then having to go on to the next step, which may be putting together some videos, or it may be just putting together something you're not as sure of? And just be honest with yourself. Because if it's something like that, if it's a fear, if it's a negative emotion that's getting in the way, then just make sure that you come back in and you check in with yourself and you're open and you make that shift. And if you're looking for some support on that, there are so many people around to support you. So the self-talk is super important. And if you are, like me, a recovering perfectionist, remember, just get started. Get in there and make that first step, because perfection comes from doing it, reviewing it, and then making it better. But if you don't do it, there's nothing to review, there's nothing to perfect. And so actually, if you're thinking of yourself as a perfectionist, it's not always the case. The first step for doing it is to do it. And a final thought to leave you on is to approach whatever you're doing in a landscape way, because our brains work better landscape. And I mean, this is what I've been working from today. So like a mind map. So rather than just doing a list, which some people say like a lazy list, is to put it out more visually, because our brains prefer it and we work quicker that way. Yeah, so I hope that this has supported you. And I'm more than happy to support and go deeper into any of the different areas as you would like.
That was brilliant, Liz. Oh, I love that mind map as well. That was amazing. We've had some really good comments come in. People like agreeing with what you're saying and like, oh, that's a good idea. I love the breathing bit as well. It makes a big difference. In fact, you do that with, it helps calm the nerves, especially if you're coming. A lot of people get very stressed being on camera and they get very nervous. So doing that breathing exercise is really good. I'm going to separate this video out because I think it deserves to be on its own. It was almost like a little therapy session. So I'd like to put it on its own on our YouTube channel. So I'll leave it in here, but it will be on the YouTube channel. And also, Liz was mentioning about some freebies that she's got. And so she's put them on her site. I put it into the chat, but this was what you were talking about, wasn't it, Liz?
Yeah, so it's the daily planner, and it's just keeping it super simple. So when you're going to be doing it, what you're going to be doing it, did you do it? And if not, what got in the way? And that's your key. What is it that's getting in the way? And that's where you get to be super, super honest with yourself, because there's no point not. If you're not going to be honest with yourself, you can't move forward because you don't know where you are.
Well, you've also got a meditation on here as well, which is an MP3. So, and like Liz has kindly put this stuff on here so that you don't even have to register. She knows that, if you're going to go to her and use her, then she's putting this stuff on here. And if you love what she's doing, then you're going to go to her anyway. Will you also, Liz, if there's questions coming on the chat thread, can you reply to them? Just keep, because I think there's going to be a lot more on the replay. But we've got Gabriel's been saying a few things on here. We've got Lindsay on here as well. They've been on for a while as well. So really good. I play music. I like the Bee Gees, so I put a bit of the Bee Gees on and go a little bit mad to that sometimes.
I love it, like Night Fever.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
So I was talking to Liz before, and obviously she's very comfortable on camera and does this. So yeah, I mean, you were saying that you might do a longer session next time. So maybe
certainly.
Yeah, so maybe we can convince her to come back and give thumbs up to Liz, and she might come back and do a bit of a longer session for you. Love that mind map as well. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. I'm going to try that and see. So you pick it with the mind map. It's easier to work to than a list, for instance. Is it quicker for you to pick out where things are on the map?
Yeah, it is. And actually, to be honest, that's probably like a mini session in itself.
Okay.
But yeah, so like a couple of things. So our brains work better working landscape. And then you have your central point. And if you make it really visually different, like for each mind map you do, it's going to help you to recall things as well. And then as you're coming off from the main point, you kind of start with a bigger branch, and then it goes off into the smaller ones. And then you find that they actually may well kind of join again, which is what I found as I was doing it, because, obviously we don't actually think in a linear way. And it's
you go off on tangents and
Yeah.
so I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it. Watch it end in disaster. But like Liz said, you've got to jump in, you've got to move forward, you've got to try this stuff. So if it all goes terribly wrong next time, Liz, I'm blaming you, right? Because I'm going to try and do it wrong.
There's no wrong, there's just forwards. You made a choice and that's the choice you went with. So it's always right.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Liz, for being part of this. And so Liz is basically, we've wrapped up the first session on Zenler, on a day with Zenler. So thank you again, Liz. And I'll speak to you soon. If you want to write Liz any questions, write them in the chat and I'm sure she'll reply when she gets time. Thank you, Liz.
I will do. Thank you so much. See you later.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.